Hello, Internet! My name is CParks. And this is episode number 7 of the Park Bench on July 15th is today's date. How are you doing, Kay? You ready to talk about video games and stuff on the internet? Yeah. Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Yeah. I hit it, but I missed. Okay.
You're always missing the unmute button. I think you're silencing me. This is phobia. But no, yeah, I'm Golden Rose K. If you didn't get from the intro, the words below me, and yeah, I'm doing well. Let's talk about video games and stuff or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
What have you been up to?
Let's see. Playing more Horus Girls because it's on my
Mm-hmm.
phone, so I can do that easily at downtime during work, um, or while watching trash TV.
Yeah,
Um,
classic you.
Played some Peak finally. Played a
Mm.
few different sessions of Peak, and that was fun. I'm
Yes.
glad. I'm glad I can confirm that Peak is fun. And we played Dokapon. On
Oh, we did play Dokapon,
We played
and
Dokapon.
I am just too good at it. I'm in three different Dokapon games, and guess who's in first in all three of them for now?
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Hmm.
You're in your Dokapon training arc.
Let me tell you
Mm-hmm.
about Dokapon.
Tell me about it.
It's easy. I don't know why you guys struggle. No, I really like it. I really like it. I think that the game does make you feel bad, more than I would like. But that's the nature of like these kind of competitive board games. Especially when people start like getting the Darkling job. It just makes everything like a little hectic and a little annoying, but ultimately it's good. I don't
I
know if you know anything about the Darkling job.
I remember it being a thing, but
Hmm.
I don't like from a long time ago, but I don't remember much about
Hmm.
it. But that's something where I'm actually going to talk about it a little bit later in a game that I talk about. But sometimes I think when something is just broken and like imbalanced,
Hmm.
sometimes it's just fun. Sometimes it's just fun, and it's okay to break your friend's trust and will to play the game with you anymore. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's just fun. um,
Hmm.
yeah. Anyways, today's topic lists, we got six topics. Like always, we're going to talk about the DK movie had a
Okay.
copyright filed.
Donkey Kong.
So I'll talk about the DK movie as well as probably just like Nintendo movies in general, whatever. Um, then we're gonna pitch our thoughts on what Nintendo should do with F Zero.
Hmm.
I'm gonna talk about the Bazaar a little bit, the game. Uh, we're gonna we're gonna hop into the trailer park. We're just gonna watch some video game trailers. I don't know, talk about them. I don't know what that's gonna be, but we're gonna do it. Um,
Hmm.
we both watched the new Superman movie. And I would like to congratulate Superman
Hmm.
on becoming the first non-video game topic that we talk about on this show.
Up and away.
Yeah. And then
Congratulations, Superman.
last thing we'll talk about is the Pokemon Presents, which is happening 1 week from today. Uh, and then also when we get together for the show next week, it'll have already happened, so we'll be able to talk about it.
Oh,
So that's cool.
you're so true. You're
Yeah,
so true.
so that's cool.
It can be a fun run of show.
Yeah. So jumping into it, the DK movie copyright has been filed. You can see it here on
Incredible.
screen. Untitled Donkey Kong Project Motion Picture. Kay,
Oh,
does
Donkey
Seth
Kong.
Rogen return?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's the selling point. They want his dorky little laugh. I can't do his laugh. I'm horrible at impressions. And they want DK to be laughing. And I don't even remember if I know Diddy was in the movie, but I don't remember if he had a voice actor that was of any note. But they're probably returning.
That was actually another question I was going to ask is do they bring Diddy to the big screen in a major way in 2025?
Hey, listen, I would have said I've been a long believer that they're trying to kill the Kong, but you can't tell a DK story
I didn't
without
know where
Diddy.
you
I
were
think.
going with that. I thought you were going to say something about he's innocent or I don't know.
No. I think for the Kong family tree, I think you basically can't tell a Donkey Kong standalone story without Diddy in it. Like you could, I just don't know why you would.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
I think Diddy's got to be in it as well. And I would love I mean, if you look at the Mario movie and what that did,
Mhm.
and even with the Kong portion of it, um there's a lot of characters that they
Mhm.
bring in even momentarily. Uh you got everyone wants to see Diddy and Dixie and
Mhm. And
Lanky, you know.
Tiny,
Mhm.
mhm.
We want to see them all.
Funky. You gotta see
Funky,
Funky Kong.
specifically Funky.
Mhm.
Um
And Cindy, who's like the way
from the
too attractive
from
feature on?
that's from the movie, right? Is not the movie, the TV show? Wasn't Cindy?
Cindy's in the TV show, isn't? But who's the one that who you save at in like DKC 3? There's another like overly attractive Kong that they made for one of the old DKCs.
All right, let me just Google
Real quick.
hottest Donkey Kong
Kong
characters.
Country. Yeah,
Let's see
this is
what we
gonna go well.
got. Donkey. Oh, you're talking about King K. Rool.
Yeah,
That's what the
my
internet
guy,
said.
my goat.
Let me look at is it this right here? This is Donkey Kong's Candy?
Candy Kong. There
Candy
we go.
Kong?
I knew it was a C, man.
Yeah, he is Cindy. Candy Kong. Yep. Glad that this is in my search history. Okay.
What do you
Um,
think this movie's gonna be about? I have a decent concept, but what do you want from this DK movie?
um, I'm I'm not 100% sure. I I know where to go with this without it either being something like the Kong area is being overrun or overtaken by some
Do
sort of evil force.
you want the like apocalypse now, but with Kong?
I want like X-Men Apocalypse, but with Kong.
Hmm.
That's what I want. Um,
Um,
no, I don't. I didn't like that movie. No, so either
that
something like that where like home is being threatened by a new evil force, or I don't know if they do something with Pauline.
yeah, yeah, you could try to like incorporate like the Bonanza stuff and like kind of DK's roots with Pauline.
Because
I don't think that's an entirely bad way to go to do like almost a reverse King Kong.
mhm,
Like Pauline's causing trouble in the kingdom, and DK has to, or in the country, I should say, and DK has to is like again a reverse King Kong.
yeah,
What I would do is you make it like the Mummy, or like just like a treasure hunting race or something like that, where like
Okay.
the search for the golden banana, there's some magical mystical banana, and
Hmm.
it's DK's crew and it's the Kremlins trying to like race through all these like kind of very like, I don't know, very Uncharted, like you're going through all of these different set piece exploring, trying to not find out where it is and try to get it.
Okay.
That would be what I think that's like my initial thought of what would be fun to
Yeah.
me.
And then I think you have to have scenes
Hmm.
of riding on Ramby
Yep.
and
Get all the
all the
animals.
animals. Maybe there's a scene where everyone's riding on one. The Mario
Hmm.
Kart scene, but Donkey Kong Kart.
Hmm.
Shout
Yeah,
out,
right there with you.
shout outs to the canceled game, Donkey Kong Kart.
Yeah,
Um,
you put DK on Ramby, you put Diddy on the ostrich, whose name I don't remember. You put Dixie on Squawks.
hmm um, yeah. There. I mean, we saw it with the Mario movie, and I don't think there's as much for this movie, but I don't think they can go without just tossing in every sort of little reference from games past uh possible. Like, give Donkey Kong his coconut gun. uh
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, honestly, you at least do that as like a little bit, right?
yeah, he just grabs it and he shoots it and he knocks somebody
Hmm.
in the head with his coconut gun that was trying to get away. I don't know, just like
Hmm.
quickly.
Diddy has to have his jetpack.
There, yeah, yep,
At
Diddy's
least
got his
once.
jetpack. There will be some sort of strange tiles that just spell out his name.
Hmm.
uh
Oh, the secret of Kong.
yeah. um what other like silly references can we have? I mean, the games in general have like all kind a different. Well, I guess recently there's the country games, which are the Kremlin gang, right?
Hmm.
And then all the newer games have different villains. I wish I could remember the names of them, but there was like the Tiki Mask guys. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
one has like the Void Company. I'm
Hmm.
curious if like any of that stuff somehow makes it in.
You could.
Ooh,
And I think they might like want that synergy a little bit, but it's not what they
maybe
want.
you get a scene like in like Donkey Kong Country Returns where it's like a colorful background and just a silhouette foreground.
Hmm.
You know those levels in Donkey Kong Country?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe get some shot like that at some point.
Hmm. We
Um
get some minecart. It's gonna be
oh yeah,
minecarting.
I forgot the mine carts, the barrel blasting.
Hmm.
It's I mean it's a Nintendo property. I think there's enough fun in it
Hmm.
for like almost for it to just like not fail.
Hmm. I think
Um
like the worst thing, in my opinion, that they could do, which might be what they will do, is like try to incorporate more like Mario DK universe stuff in it. Like
so
I just don't want I don't want this movie to be bogged down by Mario.
I agree. I
I would like DK to have his own, and the DK crew to have their own little adventure.
mhm.
Pauline's allowed, which I guess you can have, if Pauline's in there, then Mario can inevitably be there. But I would rather not. I'd rather it be
Yeah.
an adventure.
Maybe there's like a broken up like Mecha Mario somewhere from like the Mario vs Donkey
Oh
Kong series,
yeah, yeah, the little toy
and
guys. Yeah.
that's our Mario. Um, so yeah, like I said, it's interesting actually. I think you can see it here. Yeah, so this is a Universal Pictures. That's the
Hmm.
second party listed in this.
Hmm.
I also have another. I don't have the copyright form for it. But I have information for the Zelda movie. Just an article from that. And if you look at, let me get this ready. If you look at this form, live action 2027,
Mhm.
um, Sony Pictures. Um, I just found that interesting where it's not just like the same partner throughout.
Yeah.
Um, and that to me
Hmm.
says that their intentions are not to do a Super Smash type Avengers esque
Yeah.
like get together. That's my initial reaction when I was like, oh, it's Sony.
Which I think is like kind of wise of them. I know, like, I mean,
Yes.
we went through the whole phase where everybody really loved the universes all building to one event, but then I think we quickly like realized that these movies kind of need to stand on their own also, and
Mm-hmm.
like they just stopped, like a lot of like the cinematic universe is in general, like they stopped being able to do that. um Obviously they've already set a precedent where Mario and DK are inhabiting the same world, they can
Yes.
interact. Again, I already mentioned I don't need that, but they're there. Zelda's an entirely different beast, considering like how one is live action, and unless you're gonna at the
Yeah.
end of Legend of Zelda have him grab the Triforce, turn animated, and end up digitized
No, I
into the
think I
Mario
think
world.
I think you just throw in a live action character like actor into the Mario
Mhm.
universe alongside digital art Mario, you know?
Oh man, you make me Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but it's Link hanging
But
out with a bunch of
it's
cartoons.
it's Link in yeah, Mario World in the Mushroom Kingdom. Um
Uh,
yeah, so go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I think the Legend of Zelda movie just feels such a crazy undertaking. I don't envy a single person on that team, on either the writing team or the production team, or is it Wes, the guy who did Maze Runner and
Yeah.
yeah,
West Ball.
yeah, Wes Ball. I don't envy that dude either. Like, how do you? I don't know how you make that movie look good. I'm so excited to be proven wrong. I just don't know how you make it work.
Yeah, so it's the Donkey Kong movie, like we said, there's a lot of just like fun in Donkey
Hmm.
Kong where it's just like you put the fun on screen and like it's almost hard to fail. Um
Hmm.
because like Mario and Donkey Kong's worlds are just fun and silly. The Zelda world has parts of it that are fun and silly, but that's not the tone of the world.
No, it's typically there's like way more gravitas. There's way more like depending on the game, it's like depressing. It's weird, but
Yeah.
like it's everything is every Zelda game has to take place for the most part in a world that's like near ruin. Like Ganondorf or whatever, or Ganon, or like the other enemies. I can't think. My brain's not working. I
My
don't
brain's
remember
not
them in
working either. I
shout.
can picture one. He's on my wall and I can't think of his name.
Um, or like Skull Kid. I don't know. Almost forgot the guy right behind me.
Hmm.
Um,
We both just
like
have Zelda villains on our wall.
um, Skull Kid's technically not it's the mask. Anyway, but anyway, these worlds are darker and they're way more serious, and they have to navigate lore people care about outside of the bit of like DK Kong family lore, or trying to like a couple people on the internet being like, oh, Mario has more lore other than it being like a act theater of actors, like Miyamoto kind of like said forever ago. Like Zelda, people care about all the how this timeline works,
Which
and what,
is
which is
silly.
silly.
Yeah, I um with Donkey Kong,
Hmm.
when Bonanza was gaining momentum and we're getting more information
Hmm.
out for it, there were people who were legitimately like, they don't even care about the timeline.
Hmm.
What does this mean for the timeline? What do you mean
No.
a child Pauline is with Donkey Kong and Cranky Kong's old? Cranky Kong is actually, and I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's Donkey Kong. Donkey
Hmm.
Kong doesn't need that. I don't care. And with Zelda, I'm like fairly convinced that there was never any sort of Zelda timeline. And then they just made so many games and fans were speculating on this and that. And then so somebody was just like, yeah, let's, yeah, this
Hmm.
is how they connect. And it's like stupid and convoluted. And there's like, it's like this pathway it leads to these games and this pathway leads to these games and like whatever. That's another thing that's like, sometimes it's interesting to look at and see a path of things happening and
Hmm.
uh like thinking like, ooh, actually you lose in this game and this is the world, and that, like sometimes that's interesting. Ultimately I don't care. All
Hmm.
these, just like all of the Nintendo movies that, and like these cinematic universes, I guess. um you said it, every movie needs to be able to stand on their own, right?
Hmm.
These Zelda games all stand on their own without any sort of lore connecting
Yeah.
them, without any sort of timeline. So like I just don't care
Yeah, I
about
do
it.
think it is like a little like there's a couple where I'm like they still stand on their own, but like for example, like Spirit Tracks or the Phantom Knight like are heavily, they're in the Wind Waker
Yeah.
world. And like so there are a couple that have like their little like they're connected by like they're actually the same link. Um but other than that, like yeah, like you can tell somebody 14 different Zelda games to be the jumping on point. I made up
Yeah.
the the number 14. It's not a real number. I don't actually know how many are actually
How
the
many Zelda
jumping on
games there
point.
are?
But there's a lot.
There's a lot. It could be
There's a lot.
14.
Yeah.
Could
Like
be
you can
more.
say, like, hey, play Link to the Past. You can play, hey, play Zelda 1. You can play, hey, play Ocarina,
Just
Twilight
pick
Princess,
pick
Skyward,
any of them
Breath.
up. Any Zelda game, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Well, maybe not Zelda 2.
Never play Zelda 2. I am error. Um,
But just about any other Zelda game is like a good spot to start. It
mhm,
doesn't matter to me. Like you can, like once you get into one,
mhm,
there are other Zelda games that are going to be similar to it. And then the Zelda games that are like different, like say if you start with Breath of the Wild, you have a direct path to Tears of the Kingdom to be similar.
mhm,
Um After those, you can go to the Ocarina, like the traditional 3D ones, where you can be like, you can see the
mhm,
inspirations behind things, and then you can jump to the 2D ones and see like there's just always a connecting path to the
mhm,
other games where because it's all Zelda, I guess, like they have the same sort of formulas like throughout. You can start anywhere and jump to anything else, and it doesn't matter because the story between them doesn't matter.
mhm.
um I don't know where we were going with this, but uh
I mean, the end of the day is like again, like this movie. I don't know what you do for this movie, and actually, to your original thing, you're like, I don't think they're gonna set up a Super Smash Brothers movie. I hope not. But at the same time, if they just did eventually, like, they're like, hey, like, here's a Smash movie, and you don't even need to lead up to it at all. Like, you just have a movie one day that you open it up with like the weird hands or the angel guy whose name I'll never remember. It just starts plucking these people out. You just have a quick montage of all the characters getting sucked away. That's all you need.
yeah.
You don't need to set it up because I don't know. I'm excited for Nintendo movies. So I like Nintendo games,
Yeah, same. And
and
I
Zelda still
think
scares me.
these are the three big ones that are
Hmm.
uh like the potentially the like easy three to choose. Like if you had to choose
Hmm.
like three movies to hit a broad audience of people, I think these are them: Mario,
Hmm.
Donkey Kong, Zelda.
I have one quantifier. I think that it might be easier to make a solid hit, not a block, but like a solid Kirby movie than it would be to make to the Zelda movie, which I'm still just so like I'm not sold on.
I I think that goes right back to kind of like the points that we were saying earlier, where like the world of Kirby is
Mhm.
fun and
Yeah,
goofy and
exactly.
silly, and there's a bunch of silly, fun lore between the games and then the all you can eat show, um, where like it's easy just to throw fun stuff on the screen. Um, I think this is harder. I think this Zelda movie is harder to do that with and
Mhm.
just like guarantee yourself a hit. Um, because yeah, there's just so much more to like scrutinize that people will scrutinize. Um,
Yeah.
and I think like there's it's gonna be nitpicked. There's gonna be people out there that are gonna be so obnoxious about what this movie does in poor taste. Um,
Like me, like I'm not gonna be happy unless I hear one "excuse me, princess." Like it's just like no.
um, but I just mean for think like whatever world they set this in, right? If it's not set up to be like vastly different than what
Mhm.
we have in the games, people are just going to be like, "Oh, well, this is, this is actually like very similar to the Hyrule in Ocarina of Time." And in Ocarina of Time, this village is actually got like this character in it, but they put that character in this place, and like there's gonna be stupid arguments
Mhm.
that people make like that. Um, because this is, yeah, it's just like less silly and fun, and it's more like serious, structured, whatever. Um,
Um, I
go.
real quick, I just had this thought. So obviously, when people are, and I'm talking about this more like way later in the show during the Superman bit, but when people talk about like making a movie based on IP, they typically take from like a couple like major stories and they try to meld it together for the big screen. It happens all the time in comic movies. And I thought about what do you think? I'm going to ask you, not counting the CDI games. Like, what do you think is like the strangest Zelda movie, I mean, game they could take from? Because my thoughts are it's Minish Cap and we do Honey
Mm-hmm.
I Shrunk the Kids
Mm-hmm.
Zelda,
Yep.
or we just go right into Four Swords.
What do I think would be like? What was it? The weirdest one to go to?
Yeah, what would you think that like they should not? They should basically they shouldn't pick,
Um,
or it makes no sense to pick.
so Minish Cap is a really good one, and then yeah, the Four Swords games. The first one that came to my mind was Spirit Tracks,
Oh yeah.
because my autism goes straight to the trains.
Uh-huh.
Um, but I think just like so much of that game is like so off kilter from what Zelda looks like. Like if you
Hmm.
showed somebody a picture from Spirit Tracks without Link in it, I think it's very likely people are like, I don't know what this is. What is this?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Whereas you can show them pictures from other games and like they probably still won't be will be like, I don't know what this is. But like there's just more Zelda in those worlds, whereas like Spirit Tracks train thing being such a focal
Mhm.
point is just like, I don't know. I think nobody looks at Zelda games and it's like, yeah, trains.
Yeah, we need
We
trains.
need trains in Zelda
Uh,
games.
I guess lastly, my couple wishes
I
is
gotta
like
go
I
back and
want
play
Zelda to
Spirit Tracks
be.
again. Damn it! I'm thinking about trains,
Yeah, I know you gotta.
train
I guess
combat.
all I really want, I want Zelda to be, and I would like Zelda to be an active participant in the story, whether or not that's we see Sheik or we see um the knight from Phantom Hourglass, like that kind of thing. I just like I it would be a shame because I think Zelda as a character is really cool.
Yes.
Um, and a lot of games downplay like the Triforce of Wisdom magic stuff she has going on. Um, and it would be a little lame to just have like a damsel. I mean, I think Nintendo at this point and culture as a whole would be like, we don't need to have just damsels in distress anymore. Anyway, let's get a bigger Bosa, like a giant Urbosa.
Okay. It to that point about Zelda, if they are going to put in like a Hunter Schafer or like any
Mm-hmm,
sort of like bigger name actress to be
mm-hmm,
Zelda, you can't just have them be a damsel in distress. You can't
yeah.
just have them be this like useless save me Link like character. Like, and Peach wasn't that
Mm-hmm,
in the Mario movie. She wasn't even captured.
mm-hmm,
Um, I I could see a Zelda movie where Zelda isn't captured and isn't a damsel in distress, but if she was, um, I'm still picturing scenes where like she's she's doing stuff like in her captivity that is
mm-hmm.
like a nuisance to whoever got her. Like for whatever reason the first thing I thought of was like in Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You have
exactly.
those sequences where you
When
go
you started talking about it, I also was thinking about Peach's Paper Mario chapters.
exactly. Yeah. So, even if she is captured, I think you can still have stuff where like you can see her doing some cool stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Last thing about these movies. Uh Legend of Zelda live action film sets March 2027, which is
Mm-hmm.
2 years from now. When would you expect this Donkey Kong movie to come out, which the copyright was written June
Mm-hmm.
6th, 2025.
Animated movies typically are, in theory, have shorter production cycles because of overworking and all that stuff.
Hell yeah,
um
crunch.
yeah, crunch work. I could see 2028. I could see, like, I don't like I could see 2027 Christmas time. Like, if they really, like, this is one thing we don't know, like if they have a script, they don't know if they have a concept. So like we don't know how far along this idea, other than the
Yeah,
fact that they have like the couple of the actors already. So I would, but my gut would say 2028.
I would say 2028 as well. Um, I think it's it's tough to say with there's now 3 movies potentially in progress with the next Mario, Zelda, and
Mm-hmm,
Donkey Kong, and I'm not sure if they just do like one a year.
mm-hmm,
Zelda in
mm-hmm,
27, Donkey Kong in 28, and the next Mario in 29. But that seems so far away.
mm-hmm.
Um, I could potentially see Zelda and Mario taking up a different half of 2027 and then Donkey Kong in 2028.
Yeah, I need
Uh,
to see Yoshi on the big screen.
you
That's
will.
what I'm so. That's the main reason I'm excited for Mario 2.
We got the egg.
You got the egg.
We got the egg. Um,
I guess lastly, I mean, before we move on to another topic,
mhm.
like what other Nintendo franchise, like what's the what
Oh yeah, I did actually want to say
you
this.
you pick an other Nintendo guy? What movie you want? What
Oh,
movie do you want?
I'll do you one better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick a Nintendo girl,
Girl.
Samus. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I thought about this while we were talking about these movies. Um, because you mentioned Kirby, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it, like I said, fun, cute, whatever. Um, I went with Metroid and Samus. Um, because its its tone is more matching Zelda. So you'll
Mm-hmm.
have kind of like Mario and Donkey Kong on one spectrum of tone, and Zelda and Metroid on the other side. And to go on that other side next to Zelda, uh, it's sci-fi. So it's just like it's a very different
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
setting. Um, and
You want live action?
I don't think so. um, I think I I think if it is live action, um, and this maybe this is why they went with live action for Zelda. Like thinking of this in live action next to like a picture of it animated or CG or whatever, in my brain, the live action just looks grimier and dirtier and
Mm-hmm.
like more darker toned. Whereas any sort of like animated thing just looks more fun and playful to me for some reason.
Yeah.
And um I I think I want animated still because I don't want to have to look at some of these bigger villain. I don't want to look at Ridley as like a CG render next to like human actor Samus.
Yeah.
I'd rather it just be like more uniform. So I guess I'll say some sort of animation.
Okay. I think
Your
oh
camera keeps dipping out,
oh no.
which
Oh
is,
no.
you know, it's fine.
Yeah. Sure. I don't know. Something. I don't know. Maybe my computer will explode. It's very hot where I am.
Oh,
But let me get there where my brain was tracking, thinking about
the
things.
next movie
Oh yeah,
franchise.
it's still just to go off the Metroid bit, talk about it. I think I don't know if Nintendo would do it. I don't know if they can do it. Um, but um, like you could make a really excellent Metroid horror adjacent movie. I think. I don't think you go for that because I think you're Nintendo and you want to go for like all the big dollars in the world.
Yeah,
Um,
when I was first thinking of it, um, I pictured, if Mario and Donkey Kong is for kids,
mhm,
Zelda is for like teens,
mhm.
and then Metroid's for the adults.
Yeah,
But they won't
because
do
like you
that.
could do some really really horror stuff with like the Metroids
Mm-hmm.
themselves,
Mm-hmm.
the Craig and all that stuff. Um, but the moment you put Samus in that cool neon blue green fusion suit or whatever, heck
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And my last thought about Metroid is that if Hunter Schafer isn't Zelda, let her be Samus.
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, what would I pick? My brain was thinking about Earthbound slash Mother.
I
Um,
I don't hate that. Bunch of
and I
kids
think
doing
like
cool
you could,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, you do like that kind of like honestly, like it part one, but like more silly and weird and not as outright horror.
Okay. Sure. I was
Like you
thinking
just have
my
like
brain
the
went
Goonies.
Stranger Things.
Oh, mm,
Same idea.
way better. Yeah, same idea. But yeah, you just have like a group of kids being like teens
Mm-hmm.
dealing with psychic stuff, all weird stuff, ending up fighting in a vat of fetuses or whatever the heck the ending level of Earthbound is, which is crazy. Um, that's what my brain just went to. For I don't know, there's probably a billion things I would love to
Your
see,
brain went to the
but
thing that included a vat of fetuses.
yeah,
Okay.
Earthbound's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like looking at nests. Oh no, okay. But I think that like if you gave us infinite money, we could make a decent movie out of pretty much every Nintendo franchise,
Yeah.
other than Rhythm Heaven. No, I'm kidding. You could do that too.
Make a really good Splatoon.
Yeah, you could do that.
Soundtrack would
I
go
think
crazy.
I actually think one of the harder franchises to ever adapt would be Kid Icarus. I think there's I think the Angel like iconography. I don't know a lot about Kid Icarus. I feel like just doesn't really land.
I think a part of that in my mind is because there's not a lot out there for Kid Icarus. So a lot of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing in a Kid Icarus movie, you're making up. There's no
Mm-hmm.
reference points to a lot of it. So yeah.
Chris, just like we're gonna make up our pitches for F-Zero on the spot.
Yeah,
You like you appreciate
we're gonna talk about F Zero now. And what
you
we would
appreciate
do.
that.
We talked about what we were doing with Nintendo's movies. Let's talk about what we're doing with F Zero. And the first thing I'm doing is a movie.
Mhm.
Actually, so
You make just the pod racer scene from episode one, but a whole movie about it.
I think you yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um so for F Zero,
Yes.
my pitch. So you actually you had this video ready. F Zero 99, right?
Mm-hmm.
This was the
Mm-hmm.
like announcement director, whatever. Um, if you made F Zero, uh, in this like, I'm trying to think of a game where it's like a similar perspective as this,
Mm-hmm.
and like very similar racing mechanics and whatnot, but instead of pixel art, um, it is hand drawn animated art.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just like
Mm-hmm.
this same art. Maybe the world isn't completely flat, um,
Mm-hmm.
but with yeah, like hand drawn animated art. And then I want in between races, I want full on just like anime style Captain Falcon cutscenes, and
Okay.
I want
Yeah.
an anime ass storyline, and then like
Mm-hmm.
hand drawn sprites essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
start of my pitch at least. Where are you going
Mm-hmm.
with an F
The
Zero?
start of my pitch is just more F-Zero. Now, I think there's the rumored slash long canceled slash you combine those words some ways that make sense.
Room
F-Zero
sold.
Star Fox. Uh,
Can
the F-Zero Star Fox
more.
game that has been inherently in development for a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when did we hear that? We heard
Um,
that back on like I swear the Wii or something.
mhm. um, like that concept because obviously there's already a crossover because James McCloud, Fox's dad, is in the F-Zero universe. Um, so there's already like enough there that you can build on it if you really wanted to. Um, and you could just kind of Diddy Kong Racing it, where now you have these really fast, like regular carts that they everyone drives, and you have like the R wings and other plane like variations for different types of races. Um, I think you just really you need to shake up the formula more. Every single F-Zero game, including 99, is pretty much just like go fast, pump off walls, don't explode, charge energy, don't explode.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And I think Nintendo doesn't want to do that again. I think that's probably the right call. They are the company that decides they need to innovate every single time. Um, and although my innovation is like go back to your roots, or not your roots, but Nintendo roots, and do like a Diddy Kong Racing thing. Yeah, fly around. We're going fast in the air now.
Okay. Um, my main thing that I wanted to see, I guess, from my pitch was um I want it to be like so we have Mario Kart, and Mario
Mhm,
Kart is very much just it's just gameplay. It's just races. That's all it is. Um
mhm.
I want F-Zero to be heavier story focused.
Okay.
Um
Mhm,
that's that's just my thought. That's how I it's like we're seeing cutscenes right now for like F-Zero GX. Um I think that's one way you differentiate from
mhm,
a
mhm.
a Mario Kart like cuz this would be Nintendo's third like racing game. It's not really a kart
Yeah.
game, I guess, but like you have Mario Kart, you have Air Riders coming out. We don't know anything about Air Riders yet, but F-Zero, I'm just thinking like that's the story one. You tell a
Mhm,
story with F-Zero and then have races in between. And maybe some of these races aren't on tracks. Some of these races could be chase scenes through a city or
mhm, mhm.
or,
Okay.
whatnot, getaway scenes. I don't whatever it is, but like I think you can do racing with F-Zero or no, I should say I think you can have driving gameplay with F-Zero without always it needing to be a race on a track.
Okay. To piggyback off your statement, what if you went somewhere like Mario Kart World kind of flirts with but doesn't really succeed at being a like a truly alien Forza, but F-Zero.
Um,
Like an open world, like, you go to spot A and that's like where you go to for your like quest or your driving race or whatever have you.
I think I think
Like the
it's
crew.
no, don't be the crew. I think it's um I guess what I'd say is like I think I'll always think that that's cool. I think I would always think
Mhm,
it's cool to like have a world where you get to drive around and pull up to something and do a race or some sort of mission. Um
mhm,
I the thing that like held me back from that with this, I think is the ambition of it.
mhm,
Because and maybe it would be easier, but F-Zero's fast.
it is
You
fast.
travel a lot of ground real fast in
Mhm,
F-Zero. So
mhm,
like my first thought I guess was like that open world stuff is going to be massive. Um or it is massive, but it's easy because you have so much empty space because you can get through it so fast.
yes.
Um so like I think it's cool. Um I think my ambition was like a little down on something like that. However, if they do that, I want to get out of the car.
Ooh, okay.
I want to be able to get
You
out
want a
of the
Falcon Punch something.
uh-huh. Yep. I want to get out of the car and be able to walk around. Why? I don't know yet. I don't know
Mhm,
what the idea or purpose of that is. But like,
At this point, we accidentally made Jack 2, I think.
okay, I was thinking like I was almost thinking like in my head I'm like, are we just making Cyberpunk, but
Uh-huh.
with Captain Falcon in it?
Yeah.
Um, so maybe that's what you do.
Eh,
Yeah,
eh. Um, Going on, I think you
wait,
another thing
can
that you said with like it being story mechanic wise.
I I I need to
Um,
say this out loud really quickly before I
okay.
lose it. It can be a car PG. All right,
Whoa.
sorry.
It being story based, I think you do the fighting game thing where you have like the arcade, like an arcade mode where you pick your character and you get like their little story that happens and their little like perfect ending or whatever silly ending you want to come up with. I think that's like a layup.
Sure. Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
so I can like get James McCloud's story or the weird green alien guy. I don't know anyone's name outside of Falcon and James McCloud.
yeah, same.
Um,
But that's why we need it to be
mhm.
heavily story based so we can learn who these characters are.
And I guess lastly, and I want to steal my own opinion from Star Fox. What would I do with Star Fox and say? I think you also incorporate something like again, episode one pod racer, the game where like you have your car, your speeder, and you know, I think you could do like a version of this where you race, you earn your money depending on what place you get into. That allows you to buy different parts and upgrades. I just like parts. So right now, I don't know why these last like month I've been in like we should add customizable parts that you have to buy
You're missing it
in
from
every
Mario
video
Kart,
game.
huh?
I know. It's just like, what are you talking? I only get a car now. I don't have tires anymore. I
Yeah, see,
don't have a little flyer.
that's where we're getting into the car PG part, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're
You got to
leveling
tune
up
up your car.
and buying new parts to your vehicles. If
Mm-hmm.
you know, if it's along the your case where you're getting different modes of transportation, then you got to prioritize like, okay, well my flying vehicle is kind of lacking in air control, so like I need to spend my
Mm-hmm.
money on some new part for my air vehicle so I can control it a little easier. Um, Also, I've never played F-Zero GX.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching this trailer here and there. I think it's
Yeah.
just describing the game that I've been making in my head.
There are story beats in GX. It's not like as like
I
fleshed out.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's just like more fleshed out like yeah, story. And then also just like I don't think this looks good. I think it's of its time. I think, you know,
Yeah, it's a 2003 game or something.
yeah, I think this is just what CG stuff looked like. But that's why I'm saying anime. Give me anime Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, it's it's just it's a character that's like beloved by people who have never played F-Zero, you know, which is like such an
Yeah.
interesting thing for a character is like people love Captain Falcon, but people don't love Captain Falcon from his game F-Zero. People love Captain Falcon because they love him in all the Smash Brothers games. So like
Mm-hmm.
create something new, create something big for F-Zero with a big story base like gameplay where people can yeah just like find new reasons to love this character rather than just Falcon Punch and his forward air.
Yeah. I mean like maybe you do pivot and you make a Captain Falcon Metroidvania or just action platformer. You make Beautiful Joe, but Captain Falcon.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Because again, everything they love about him is in Smash. So you just take that character and you just take him literally out of Smash, all the move sets, fine. You make a subspace emissary,
eh,
or you just play as Falcon.
sure. Yeah. Mm. I also do think for modes, I think you can have your classic like versus modes in Grand Prix and your 99. Like I think you can
Hmm.
do maybe not 99 players um because I think that's just too many players to like put in one game mode to split off from the rest of your player base, which is like standard Grand Prix. Um
Hmm.
but yeah, maybe some sort of like bigger. I guess F-Zero is not really a knockout tour sort of like experience. It's just
Hmm.
a little more survival than the normal mode because there's so many people in it. But like I don't know, some sort of cross between like F-Zero 99 where it is a bigger player count and it has some sort of like survival knockout tour mechanic. Which again, like I don't know, expand on F-Zero 99 for that mode, I guess.
Hmm.
That's my pitch. Big
Yeah.
points,
I mean,
big
I'd
points
play
is
all
animated.
these. I'd play all these.
Yeah, yeah. Anything else you would like to add for your game pitch?
Yeah, we make it a dating sim. You have it's you get F-Zero, you get Captain Falcon, and you race, and depending on whose car you knock, you bump, you bump into each other a lot on these racetracks. Maybe that creates like, oh hey, this other person knows that you're really into them, and it's a dating sim, but also a car racer.
You want
I didn't flesh this out at all,
a
but
lot of bumping in this game,
yeah, yeah,
including bumping tunes.
yes.
F-Zero has some uh so
Do, do, do,
like
do.
when I need like I listen to a lot of video game music. Um
Mhm.
and when I need
Nerd.
like a little like momentum at work,
Mhm.
um F-Zero is like a decent starting place for me for like music. Like I might throw
Yeah,
on
you,
like
you throw on Big Blue or Mute
or
City.
Mute City or
Yeah.
something. Yep. Yep. Um so yeah, I guess in conclusion, um dating sim.
Dating sim.
Dating sim.
Always.
Yep.
I'm gonna pitch a dating sim for every game we ever talk about.
I know.
Hmm.
I know.
Just because like every game should be a dating sim a little bit.
What about the Super Smash Brothers of dating sims?
Oh, isn't that
Mhm.
just? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go with what I was gonna say out loud.
I
I
don't
gotta stop.
I don't know if yeah.
You hold me back.
Next
Uh,
topic. We're moving on. Um I have been playing on and off this game called The
mhm.
Bazaar.
For a long time, you've been yelling at me to play this video game for a long time.
It's free, completely free. Um when the game first launched,
Hmm.
um there was hope around it that it would, or not just hope, but there was like words spoken by the developers about how free to play players will be able to like continue to play free to play and like the model for them and
Hmm.
if they want to pay how it works. Um they were in beta without any sort of monetization stuff in it. The closed beta you had to pay to get into.
Hmm.
Um and then they opened it open beta and included their first shot at their sort of monetization, and the community did not take it well.
Hmm.
People were pretty upset with, you know, almost how they viewed it as the developers like going back on their word on how to collect new cards and characters and whatnot. Um, I didn't really have that big of a reaction to it when it happened,
Hmm.
but since then, the monetization has kind of restructured and refocused, and the way it works now is, I think, a season is like a month long. I believe it's a
Okay.
month. And you can there are two things you can buy. You you can buy the season pass.
Okay.
Um actually wait, can
Can't
you?
be a free to play game without a season pass.
Actually now I'm debating. But so actually
You don't even remember this game you love.
I think that, well, because I bought the season pass. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the season pass is free.
Oh,
The season pass is completely free from what I can remember now. And there is another like subscription that you can do. If you subscribe to the Bazaar, you get extra rewards in your ranked runs, as well as like a monthly special like cosmetic.
okay.
Um, you can buy levels to the season pass though, and why people would buy levels is because there are card packs on the season pass track. So, for
Hmm.
example, I think like every month there are two new packs. Um, one for one character, one for another character. There's four total characters. So, like in one season, two characters will get new packs. And then sometimes there are just like one new card thrown into this character, a new card thrown into this character, or balance patches and whatnot. But um, you would buy levels of the season pass just to use those cards sooner. The way it works, however, which I think is nice, is once the season is over, at the start of the next season, you just get those cards. You
Okay.
don't miss them.
That is nice. Yeah.
You don't ever miss out on cards. You just get them later, unless you either rank up from playing enough or spend money or whatnot. Um, so I think that's cool. And typically, when a character gets like a pack of cards, there is like some sort of theme around it. Every character is
Mhm.
already a theme, and then their pack gets like another kind of like sub theme. So, for instance, there's a character, Vanessa. She's like, she's the first character you get. She's the free character. Um, she's a pirate lady, and
Never go wrong.
some of her themes within her card pool are weapons. Um, Another theme is just aquatic animals, friends, um, or like other, you know, pirate ship adjacent things.
Mhm.
There's like a pirate ship card, a crow's nest card, a port. Um, and then there might be a new pack that comes out. For example, one of them was more along like the lines of deep sea creatures rather than just ocean creatures. And in that deep sea pack, a lot of the cards synergize together. Um, but like the whole thing with the bazaar is the thought that like you're not just gonna grab a full set of perfect items and cards that you want, especially as the game grows, because I think the base set for a character is like 100 cards, and then an expansion comes out, it adds 10 more. Another expansion comes out, it adds 10 more. So it just like that pool slowly dilutes, and your builds become a little bit more creative rather than like hyper structured on like I need this item, I need this item, I need this item, I need this item, I need this item. Um it could be like I have this item, so I need to look for this specific item and it'll be great. If not, I just need another poison weapon or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Um and the the thing about the bazaar, one of the things I like about the bazaar, which is um this was the reference I was talking about in Dokapon. Dokapon, I was like, sometimes it's just fun to feel like you've done something that's like broken the game. And in the bazaar, there are opportunities that come up where you can potentially gain items from a different character's card pool, as well as enchanting items with different card effects. And sometimes you can
Mhm.
get the right item from a different character, or or the right enchantment on a specific card, where all of a sudden a new opportunity opens up and it's just busted. And
And then,
feels
like, in that reward, like, player creativity, and it probably feels great.
it
Is
feels
what
it
you're about.
feels great when you're like when you're doing a specific build. Maybe you're aimed at like um maybe you're aimed at like um a fire build, a burn build in this game. And like you're as Vanessa, you can only do so much with your burn builds because you have your set pool. But then sometimes you just get a card from a different character, and that character mechanically works very different from you. So their burn card might like Vanessa's burn items might hit fast with light burns.
Mhm.
Um you might get a card from another character where it has a long cooldown, but it gets faster with every time you burn your opponent. So it's like, oh, well now my fast little burn cards that I have are powering up this other card that I normally shouldn't be able to get, and now I'm just broken. If this card goes off once, it's busted, and that's cool and that's fun. Um, so that's one of the things that I like about the bazaar. It is hard. The people who play the bazaar are good. There is definitely like metas,
Mhm.
which again sometimes you just break out of the meta with like really weird combos from enchantments or other characters cards. But there are definitely like metas that get set. Like sometimes it's just like, or at one point it was just like poison. Poison is busted. Sometimes it's just like if you're playing a character, if you're against somebody who has high poison, it's hard to defend against that because poison goes past your shields and goes straight for your health. And when you heal, um, you're only healing. You heal your health, but like you're not getting rid of your poison. You're not curing any of your poison, so the poison just keeps ticking. It's a damage over time thing. Um, they've now had an update where like when you heal, a certain percentage of that poison gets healed away, so you can kind of combat that. So yeah, in turn, I think it's a good game
Mhm.
that is free to play, and at this point, I think most people would be fine hopping in and not having the newest card set in their pool because they already have so much in a pool set. Um, and I've talked a lot about this game and not described what the game really is much. Um,
I was gonna be like, yeah, so let's explain the combat, like the.
so the way the game works is it's kind of like a deck building game ish. Um, you pick a character. That character
Hmm.
has a pool of cards. Um, do I have? I think I have a video. I'll just have this play. Um, that character has a pool of cards, and in that pool of cards, there are different sizes for the cards. Your board can fit 10 slots, I'll say. Um, some cards take up one slot, some cards take up two slots, some take up three slots. Um, you have you can't see my cursor. You have a day that you play through. At the
Hmm.
top of the day, you pick one of three events that could give you a free type of item. Like in the video, is just get a poison item. Clicked it, it just got a random poison item. Um, you could get an event that augments your items, where it could improve its cooldown, its damage, poison, shields, whatever. You could get more experience, which when you level up, you get more health, and you get another event from that where you could upgrade a card or gain new skills. Skills can be stuff like your leftmost item has plus 15 critical chance. Um,
Hmm.
After you do a couple of these choices, you fight a monster. It gives you three choices of a monster depending on what day it is. It could, you get a certain set of monsters per day that could potentially appear. You choose monster. They range in difficulty, based on like how much health they have, based on what type of uh like deck they run, essentially what board they run, I guess. You might find somebody who is heavy in shields, so you got to figure a way how to get around their shields, or they attack really fast, so you got to be able to like either attack faster or figure out a way to survive their initial onslaught, whatever. And then they also give out a different amount of gold and experience points. So it's a risk reward thing. It's just like, well, I want to fight this guy because I need the extra experience points, or it'd be like, I don't think I can beat him. Um, and this guy has uh this type of build, which I know I can beat. When you beat them, you randomly get one of their cards or skill. So you could choose to fight somebody because you're like, if I get this skill, this helps unlock this
My deck,
potential
yeah,
for my build.
and my deck will pop off here now.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this a skill could be like every time you use a small item, gain 10 shield. Like if you look at the guy on screen right now playing, six small cards. Every time one of those small cards goes off, he's gaining shield. Um, Shield defends against physical attacks and burn. Um, the third type of attack is poison, which avoids shields, and just like burn is a like damage over time, but it is a slower damage over time. Burn goes off every
Notoriously, you do die faster when you're on fire.
probably, yeah, I guess in real life. Um,
Okay.
in for the damage over the time, poison ticks every 1 second, burn is every half a second. But every time burn ticks, it loses one burn.
Mm.
Um, but burn is also like generally a little easier to stack. But it goes down quicker and it hits shields. Poison is typically slower to stack and hits slower, but avoids shields. Um, so you fight the monster. You'll do a couple more types of events where you're choosing to go to shops or whatever, buying from the shops, and then at the end of the day, you fight another person's board from uh usually earlier in that day. They're not It's not a live battle. If I'm fighting somebody, they're not watching the same battle as me. It is a ghost of them from earlier that day. But it is their ghost from the same day. So like this person's on day 3, the person they're fighting, this was their board on day 3. Um and then you just keep repeating this process until either you win 10 PvP fights, or when you lose, depending on the day, you lose health. If you lose on day 3, you lose 3 health. You have 20 health, or whatever they call it in this game. Prestige. You lose 3 prestige. When you get to 0, you get a one more chance thing. It gives you like kind of like a last wish where it's like you can choose to enchant an item, gain a bunch of money, gain a bunch of experience, or gain a diamond tiered card. And then if you lose again, then your run is over. When your run is over, depending how many wins you have, you'll get either a bronze, silver, or gold rank, which influences how many points you get to move up in the ranks to get to higher. You it has the standard like gold,
Hmm.
silver, bronze 1, bronze 2, bronze 3. It has that. So you'll rank up in that, and you'll get chests. When you open a chest, you can get cosmetics for your items, which will just add like little animations. You could get card backs, um, different little parts to the board, character skins, um, or tickets to play ranked, which you need. You can play unranked for free, but you don't get um, your chests from that.
Yeah.
You can still complete your daily or weekly missions, which will rank up your season pass. As you rank up the season pass, every day you'll get chests and more ranked tickets. Um, and then every day you also just get one free ranked run anyway. Um, so yeah, I think I've talked a lot about this. What do you have any
Yeah. I
questions or?
guess like what I really think is neat about the Bazaar, and it's just like um in general, is that it's conceptually very much like an evolution of like arena mode in Hearthstone. Um where there's like this drafting system more or less, and then you have like your resources, and eventually you just like, you make your little single player deck even better, taking a lot of like deck building concepts through other board games and whatnot. And I think that is a space I really do would like. Everything conceptually about the Bazaar is like it's interesting to me. I don't know why I haven't played the game other
Free.
than the fact that I just like have been playing other
It's
games. I've
free.
um just because I like, I tend to focus more on like a story based, single player based. I don't even That's not even like inherently true necessarily, but I just haven't made time to play the Bazaar is
Yeah.
really what I'm getting at. But like when I watch you play it, I'm like, oh, this game has a lot of really neat content and it seems cool. And I like the little animation flourishes and the character designs and whatnot. And I'm always down for games that make you use your brain and try to combine the little like niche mechanics in order to get things to pop off even more.
Yeah, it
So maybe I download the Bazaar this week and I try a couple runs before Donkey Kong comes out. Who
let's
knows?
go. Yeah. It's cool. It's a fun game. I bounce in and out of it.
Mhm,
It's like I said, it's free. So
mhm.
it's always there. And if I don't play for a month and I miss a season, I didn't miss out on any cards because they just give them to you at the end of the season
Yeah.
anyway. So that's cool. I really like that about it. Um yeah, it has that like Hearthstone battleground feel to it.
Mhm,
Which for people who don't know, this game was created by Tempo, which is the company that was created by the once very popular Hearthstone competitive gamer and streamer Reynad.
mhm,
Um, and he created Tempo. It was like an esports team at first. And it still is. They still have some esports teams. Um, but then he went and he was like, I want to make. He's like, I love card games. I want to make a deck building game. And this game was in development for like years and years and years. And I saw like a lot of that early development he streamed or like put on YouTube with like paper cards and whatnot. So like um it was a sort of like deck building game, which slowly evolved into like still you're still kind of deck building. Um but then becoming more of this like almost like an auto battler where like you set up your board before you go into a battle and the board plays itself out. Because each card
mhm.
has like timers that they're set to and conditions and like you're not doing anything active like you are in like other card games or like how this card game was like first conceived. And you can see like if you're watching the video, the person playing is like moving their cards around on their board because like it the items you have on your board is important, and then also the order that you put them in is important. So you're constantly like trying to figure out like, okay, well, he they have a captain's wheel on their board. Captain's wheel gives
Mhm.
haste to the cards next to it. The catfish gains more poison when it gets haste. So you want that next to a a haste item. They also have a water wheel, which gives
Mhm.
haste. Um, so do you want your catfish in between your two haste items, or do you want one haste item to haste your other haste item to haste your catfish faster? There's just like there's a lot going
Yeah,
on, and
a lot of really fun like minutia of like how do you make stats work better.
yeah, what's the math for this and
Hmm.
for that, and that's part of the reason why the monster battles are like important because you get to see before you fight a person, you get to see like, oh, this worked way better with this card on the right side rather than the left side or whatever. Um, but yeah, this needs to be mobile. If this was mobile, um,
You would no longer have any horse girls.
my horse girl consumption would be far less, which is a weird way to say that. Um, but uh, the Musume kind of fills that same sort of gameplay loop that this game does. We're like, Uma Musume, you're you have a set amount of time before your next race, and you have to like every turn before your next race, you're just making decisions, and like at the core, that's what this is. You have a PvP fight. Before that, you just get a bunch of events where you're just making decisions. Um, I know this was always planned to come to mobile. Um, I don't know how far along that is. I believe they said before that once it was fully released and they were like comfortable with the state of the game, that they would ramp up their like mobile game port, but
Mhm.
I haven't heard anything about it. So they might, I'm sure they're working on it. There just hasn't been any updates to it. So yeah, play
Mhm.
the Bazaar because
Play the Bazaar.
I think this game's pretty cool. It's neat and it's like it's just very replayable in the sense that like you can consistently have a different board of cards that work differently. You could have the same board of cards with different skills. Or you can play different characters that have completely different cards with completely different like mechanics. Um, so I think it's a really good game personally, and it's free. So yeah, that's my Bazaar talk. If you have anything else you want to add or ask,
No, I think I mean I've seen you play it, so I get the loop for the most part.
yeah.
Um, it's so hot right now,
It
and
so
my HD's not giving enough work right now, and I am I
we're
am
gonna get
warm.
there here. Like it's supposed to be
Hmm.
super hot today. Um, it's just earlier in the day for me because I'm West
Do you think I
Coast.
should have the entire show? Does the fan noise thing that when you're talking to a fan, does that capture through the mic or
It
no?
no, it sure does. It
Okay,
sure does
I'm
pick
not
up.
do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's currently 84 here,
Hmm.
and I believe it's still just getting warmer. It's supposed to get up to yeah, it's supposed to get up to 91, I guess is what it says. Um or well, okay. This says today is a high of 93. Tomorrow is a high of 98,
Oof, thank gosh we don't do the show on Wednesdays.
right? I think it was last week. Last week I was dying of heat.
Yeah.
Um like I said, it's like mid 80s, which is warm. I think I well, for one, I ate. So that's probably helping me. I don't think I ate before last stream. And
Hmm.
also like I was just better prepared in this room to like close off the sun from coming in, and it has stayed cooler in here today, thankfully. Um Wanna know what else is pretty cool?
What, Chris?
Sometimes video game trailers. Um we're just gonna watch some trailers now and talk over them. I don't know exactly what we're doing here. I thought about jumping to our my little trailers scene. Maybe I'll do that.
Mhm.
I'll go to it. Let's see how this
You do
works.
whatever your heart desires.
We're gonna disappear, but
You control the production.
we're gonna become little avatars, Discord avatars. Now let's see. Whoop. I didn't have a good uh transition thing, stinger or anything for it. But now we're here. We are. We're in the movies. We're we're
Whoa,
we're,
we're in the movies.
we're in the movies. I want this, and so we've got some videos we're gonna watch, right? And
Yeah, we each picked a couple.
we each picked a couple, um, just to watch, to talk about, to comment on. Um, I I think I miss a lot of game trailers for games that would probably think are really cool because they like I have my Discord with a channel. Oh wow, look, the Discord thing popped up right as I said that. That's weird. I didn't plan that.
Whoa,
It just happened. Um
wow.
I have the Discord and one of the channels just posts um game trailers when they release on the game trailers YouTube channel. And I every once in a while I scroll through that and I'm like, "Oh, that looks cool," but I don't watch it. Cuz like I just don't have time or I'm like, "Ooh, when I do have time, let me get back to that. I want to see what that game's about." And then I go back and there's been like 17 more game trailers added and I'm like, "Well, I don't remember." And I have all these other game trailers that I'm thinking about now and it's just a constant stream of game trailers where I'm like, I should watch stuff and see what's cool and what's stupid. So that's what we're going to do now. So
Yeah, we picked out a couple.
first up, this is yours.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is, and I also have you watched
Shadow.
the trailers?
I watched the two trailers that I picked. I
Okay,
didn't watch yours.
I
I didn't
almost
have time. We threw this show together on
yeah
it so fast.
yeah. So yeah, I haven't really seen these yet either, so
Mm.
this will be a fun experience for us. So let's just like open our little curtains here, boop, and start the show, and turn on the volume. And so, what is this game?
Shadow of the Road is on my radar because it is Owlcat, the developers of the two Pathfinder CRPGs and Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader CRPG, has become a publishing company
Okay.
recently, and they're trying to publish kind of indie RPGs, CRPG stuff. And this is the first one game that they announced. It is the demo started today. This is a trailer for like the open alpha, but the demo is officially out today on Steam.
Okay.
It seems to be a samurai RPG,
Cool.
which is like in a more Western style, like move around. You have your like top down isometric. There seems to be a whole bunch of leveling systems they just showed, which
Yeah.
seems really really cool.
Level system, big tree.
And like you know, I downloaded the demo before the start of the show. I'm gonna try it out. Maybe I'll have more impressions for you. Maybe I'll actually sit down and record some gameplay so we can show it on air.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like its setting. Um, the like individual character, like character trees and progression is cool. Um, Owlcat. What else? What was the game that Owlcat had did before that you said?
So there are three games. They're all really nerdy RPGs, right? So it's Pathfinder Kingmaker,
Okay.
Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and then um, Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader. And then they also announced another Warhammer 40K Dark Heresy CRPG, and then they also announced that what's the Expanse, that third person
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
RPG game, completely different than anything they've done before. They're making that Expanse RPG that's very Mass Effect coded from like the short snippet we saw.
And
Um,
for anyone who doesn't know, you love Mass Effect.
I do love Mass Effect. Somewhere in my top 10, somewhere in my top 50. Who knows? Video game. It's getting harder and harder to make a top
I
anything anymore.
yeah. I also, in general, am really bad at just being like, uh, this is my favorite thing. This is my favorite food, my favorite song, my favorite game. I can never pick. It's just kind of like what comes to mind in the moment. Like when I had my interview for my first movie theater job, they asked, "What's your favorite movie?" Which is like such a fair question to ask at a movie theater. And like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what my favorite movie is. I said District 9. I don't think that's my favorite movie. I feel
You
like,
loved when you thought it was going to be a Halo movie. I know you.
well, he was supposed to make another. I don't know. Neil Blomkamp supposed to do Halo stuff. Whatever. It is cool. I like that movie. I think it was going to be my favorite. I probably would have watched it more than like two or three times. But yeah, I'm just bad at favorites. So like, I could potentially put together like top 10 lists unordered though.
Hmm.
It's hard for me to like
No, you
choose.
must be choose between your children, Chris.
And well, not only just that, like how do I really compare Halo 3 with Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
Hmm.
Cuz like they're very very different games at very very different parts of my life. So, I don't know. I feel
Well,
like
you have an avatar for one of those characters that you're talking through right now,
yeah.
and not the other one. So
Okay. Well,
there we go. I solved one. I solved one of the top 10 arguments.
Sonic has a lot more games. There's a lot more media for Sonic, and uh Sonic has nostalgia because Sonic was around as I was a developing youth.
Hmm.
Uh so like just because Sonic has been like a bigger part of my life for longer, like I don't know, that doesn't qualify it to be better than Halo.
Maybe. I don't know. I always say Paper
And
Mario 64 is my favorite game of all time, and that has a lot to do with nostalgia reasons.
sure, and I I think it's just
But I wouldn't say that it's inherently like better. I would say that like Persona 5 Royale is an objectively better JRPG,
yeah.
but it's not my favorite compared to those two games.
It's just my mind. That's why this stuff's hard for me. Next,
Hmm.
next trailer.
Which one are you doing?
Your other one.
If I were supposed to be killed,
My
it
other
would
one?
have happened a long
Space
time
Adventure
ago.
Cobra. This is one I found out about today, and
Yeah,
I went, "Hey, this is neat."
I saw this in that list and was like, hey, this looks neat. And then I was like, oh, it's already here. Cool. So I hadn't seen it yet. Uh, its style is very cool, very nice.
Let's make a deal.
Yeah.
I'll help you protect your sisters.
It
Especially if it
looks
means I
like
get to
some
pick
sort
more
of
guilt
Metroidvania.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just I think
bugs.
also
Guild is my nemesis. Those
for
fiends.
Metroidvania games specifically,
No one but
I think that's a genre where like I think that's just like a very very good genre. So like when there's a good Metroidvania,
Don't worry. You can
I
trust
think it's like
You won't escape me, Cobra.
it elevates it a little more just because the genre it's in is so good. It's like a game that it's a type of game that I really like.
Mhm. Yeah, I think like my main issue with Metroidvanias, which I think this does a really good job at, like making me more interested, is that like a lot of them start to feel a little samey. A lot of like
Sure.
the art they have like they have a visual language to their design,
Nobody
and like this
shoots me in my
does
own
share a
garage.
good amount of like you
Stay
can
here
clearly
while I
see
deal
like
with
this is
these
the
criminals.
how you activate the platform. This is how you move, and this is how you're going to shoot. And that obviously the language of the gameplay for Metroidvanias has been kind of like solved for a while, but the style and the animation and like the very throwback 80s anime, I mean, this Space Adventure Cobra that harkens back to like a lot of my youth seeing like Captain Harlock and whatnot. I like the aesthetics of that, and I don't feel like we get a lot of that throwback animation style in games. So that's really what I'm like. I'm like, ooh, neat.
Yeah,
I'm more interested now.
yeah, 100% that this throwback like action like old animation cartoon style is, I think, what immediately separates it for like, it's why we watched it. Like you just said,
Hmm.
it immediately separates it from the pack. It also had that cool, or had like a little like time stoppage uh mechanic in it that looked like
Hmm.
it could add to puzzles, and I think that's a big part of uh of Metroidvania, is just like
Hmm.
new unique new unique ways to like interact with puzzles or the environment, and then traversal. um
Hmm.
so yeah, that looked
And that
cool.
like gun that you like control, like through the trailer, you see him like moving it around
Hmm.
and like arcing it around. Very Carrion like to me, and I think
Oh,
Carrion is a
okay.
really fun Metroidvania.
Yeah.
So
um all right, I've got another trailer here. Did you
mhm,
look at the list of
mhm.
trailers?
So I have the docket open. I wish I didn't have the docket open,
So you didn't see what
but
this was?
yeah, because I would have loved to just been like thrown into this.
um how are you watching these, by the way? I completely forgot. You just like clicking on them
I'm just
yourself?
watching them. No, I'm watching them through the stream.
Okay, so
I'm on a delay for like what they are.
you have a 5 second delay. So
Mhm.
um yeah, this next one, Skull and Bones.
Mhm.
I can't believe that there is additional content coming out for this game. I haven't heard anything about this game since, like, I think before it even released.
Yeah,
It disappeared for a
yeah.
long time. Supposedly wasn't fun, so they had to remake it. Went through a little development hell, came back, released with like no fanfare in my eyes.
Mhm.
And now it has, this is a year 2 season 2 official gameplay trailer. This has to mean people are playing it, right?
Maybe.
It's Ubisoft, who knows?
So
Um
the thing with Skulls and Bones, as I butcher the pronunciation, skull and
Skull
bones,
and
singular
Bones.
skull, multiple bones. Um, is that much like a lot of the Uwe Boll video game movie adaptations? Is like this game is partially funded via like grants and like
Just in
by like certain
the
like
country of
countries like
France.
yeah, I think so. I don't remember if it's France specifically, but like there was some sort of like grant that fund this game, which made it have to come out in some capacity.
I see.
And so I don't know if there's anything in the language that like dictates that like they have to like what they have to keep doing for this game. I don't know anything. But it's truly wild because again, this is not a game that I know anyone that enjoys.
I don't know anyone who's played it.
Hmm. I've seen a couple variety streamers play it like when it first came out, but that's just because they play like the games that
Mhm.
come out every week.
Um
What is this adding? What is it? What does the trailer tell me that it's adding? Prepare for
boats.
war. We have boats.
34 gun ports, 2 auxiliary stations.
I guess
New
there are different
perks.
types of frigates and galleons and
Um to me, Skull and Bones looks like it is like an evolution of much older pirate games. Like was it
like
the Sid
Meier's
Meier's?
pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it looks like they were like, let's make that game in modern day.
Mhm.
And I think
What is this?
there's a part of me that thinks like there's people that have to be playing this if they like that has a fairly solid like cult following behind it. I'm sure there's people playing this, and like it it is PvP, so it has that. this the marketing behind this, the way this looks just looks like it like the For Honor B team
Mm-hmm.
or like just like the For Honor team like in their spare time. It's like, hey, when you do your after you're done you doing your promo for the new For Honor season, can you just do something for Skull and Bones? And like just the way it's set up looks very, very, very similar. Um, which just like to me is saying more of like we're not putting a lot into this. We're spending
Mm-hmm.
as little as we can on this. Um, the point I was
Yeah,
gonna
I mean, and it could also just be like like stuff that they had near done and they wanted to just finish it or whatever,
yeah,
or maybe Ubisoft is sitting there and being like, we're gonna No Man's Sky this game.
could
I
be.
have no faith in Ubisoft,
No,
but
not this game. Um,
mhm.
but that like old style of like gameplay for this with like how you control the boat and attack. Um, I played. There was a boat MOBA, a
A
boba.
boba.
Yeah, we both
Hey,
got
look at
there.
us.
And I played that a little bit. You played it too, didn't you?
I think so.
I think Alex played it also. And that game was decently fun for what it was. Um, but when I look at this, all I can think is like I I would rather the combat from Sea of Thieves. It's a
Mhm.
completely different style of game and combat. I just really like that like hectic like use of like player management on what parts of the boat you're utilizing at what time, running around the boat, getting off the guns to adjust the sails, getting off the steering wheel to get an extra guy on your cannons, shooting a guy over to board the enemy. Like I don't know. I'm I love Sea of Thieves. I'm tainted by Sea of Thieves when I look at this game.
Yeah, because you have like a game that like it's like similar enough, but doesn't have like what you want from it, right? So
Yeah.
like, why interact with it?
Yep. Yep. And I think a lot of people felt that way. Why interact with this? But yeah, it's still got stuff it's doing somehow. I'm gonna
Something
go
similar.
next with Crop Deck.
Yeah.
Um, I thought this looked interesting. Um, I like card games.
Hmm.
I'm waiting for it to load. It's just not loading. There we go. Ooh. I like card games. This is what appears to be a cross
Hmm.
between like a card game and a farming simulator. It's
Yeah.
like a deck building card game, farming roguelike deck builder. Yeah, I don't know. I think this looks cute.
This like I guess like this statement's not derogatory. I don't mean to be derogatory, but it does in a lot of ways feels very like the Plants vs Zombies, right? The vacation of like this concept. I don't know, like of farming sims.
Maybe.
There's like a lot in here that's like popping off and active, and you're clicking on little things, and then you're adding. I don't know. Like there's just a little. As someone who just for the first time this past week saw Plants vs Zombies,
What?
yeah. Like I knew it existed, I just never played it. And I never watched anyone play it.
You
Like no,
had
there's just
you had never seen Plants vs Zombies until this weekend?
yeah. Someone did a speed run of it at GDQ, so I watched Plants vs Zombies for the first
Your
time.
first encounter with Plants vs Zombies is Summer Games Done Quick.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy to me. Those are good games.
Yeah, well, what was the first one? Was it Xbox Arcade? Was it a mobile game? I've never I played
Um,
so few of each.
I think it was yeah, like an Xbox Arcade and PC.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I never played it. When I had my Xbox Arcade, I played Bastion and Raid
I
and
also
Fez.
I also played those. and Plants vs Zombies. So like, what's actually, I didn't really play Braid, so Plants
For the
vs Zombies
bets.
filled my Braid. I will say, I think, to your point, I think artistically, like the drawings in this
Hmm.
did have some Plants vs Zombies kind of style to it. Um, the gameplay I don't think is, but um, you're drawing some similarities where like it's farming, plant based. You're
Hmm.
choosing your deck of, well, I guess in Plants vs Zombies you're choosing a deck of plants. In this you're choosing
Yeah.
what looks like, you know, maybe some other stuff, but it's still you're putting stuff down to make money in plants. I guess, you know, I'm talking myself more into what you're seeing with the Plants vs Zombies.
Thank you.
It's just not the
And
zombies.
there's like active collecting too. It looks like how,
Yeah.
you know, in this game I just learned about Plants vs Zombies. You have to like click on certain things when they develop their little their do or whatever. I
Yeah.
have no idea. I don't know a name of anything in that game. I'm just saying there's a lot in common.
It also, I'll say, I can't tell. It also almost looks like it has like a Balatro thing going on, maybe? I can't tell. So like,
Like are those scarecrows jokers?
yeah, I can't, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I can't tell if the scarecrows are jokers or if these are like inhibitors. Like those are things that are like you're trying to defeat. I can't tell quite.
This does seem neat. It does seem a little like going for the ADHD like farming simulator kind of like it's just like it wants you if you want to play a farming simulator but go fast and make your brain get endorphins, this is what you do.
Yeah, part of that farming sim is like growing your garden, getting more money each you know, harvest, getting new types of crops, getting a bigger garden, like, you know, over and over. And this has, you know, some of that. There were some spots in it where like the board that you were using was um bigger in some shots here. There was also like water that flowed through the boards. I'm curious if
Mhm.
that's something that you control or if that's like it's like this is the level, you know? Here's the level. This is the layout of the board. Here's where the water runs through it. Figure out the best possible solutions. Um, or yeah, or if it's just like as you're playing and growing, you're also like pushing the water. I don't know. It seems neat. It seems cool. When did that say it was coming out? Join the playtest July 17th.
Two
Sign up now.
days.
So you can join the playtest in a few days. Last trailer. Um,
Paddle.
paddle, paddle, paddle. What do you know about paddle, 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 Kay?
Nothing other than the 10 seconds I watched before you said that we were switching over.
Oh, you did watch some of this?
I jumped ahead a little bit because
Perfect.
I was so curious.
It's
This is a game that if Big Funyun's in the chat right now, he would not be able to look at.
he would not
It
be able
hurts
to
his,
look at.
it would hurt his eyes.
I think there's a lot about this that is gonna hurt a lot of people's eyes.
Yeah.
This is paddle,
ADD marketing.
paddle, paddle, paddle. Oh, hold on, let me restart it with the sound. There we go.
Paddle.
Paddle.
Battle.
Paddle, paddle, paddle.
Paddle.
When did the crab mean on the shores? Like when was that? Like 2009, 2008?
Which meme?
Paddle.
Like dancing crabs. And there's just like been
No.
100 dancing crabs.
Crab dance? Crab rave?
Crab dance.
This
Yeah,
that guy right there, the
2004.
crab rave guy. That was like
Yeah.
much more recent than that.
Paddle.
No, I was in high school.
Okay,
When I
well,
saw that.
all I know is my like nephew at 4 years old was really into the crab rave, so
Paddle.
Gotcha.
and he's like 6 now, so
Paddle.
All right. Anyway, to talk about the video game. Yeah, this looks like one of them. I heard the genre. Also, this is me learning a lot of things last week. For the first time, like the rage games.
yeah, rage games.
Yeah.
July 25th.
This seems like that, but multiplayer.
It does, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious how much of I imagine none, but how much of the memes that they showed, what influence
Yeah.
that has on the gameplay.
Yeah, I think it's probably zero.
Probably
I
zero.
think it's just to get your brain to think about this game.
Yeah. But this is another like genre of game that like I don't want to say it's popping off yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you know, it's sizzling, it's in the kettle.
I would say it's probably popping off in like financially, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, 'cause-
get to work. The what's the one where you just climb the entire time? There's like 2 of them.
There are
I
2
guess
of them.
get to work is also the climbing
There's
one, but
Chained
the
Together, which is the multiplayer
thing
one.
together.
Um,
Mhm.
the one that like set it all off was it's not Getting Over It. That's the
Oh, is it only up?
Only Up.
Is it only up?
Yeah, Only Up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of, I in my mind at least, that set off the trend of these rage games. And yet from all of them that I've seen, if they succeed, they look wildly profitable because
Mhm.
there's
They're just like throw a bunch of Unity assets around and
Yeah.
people parkour.
yeah, so they if you make a good one of those, you make a lot of money off of it.
Mhm.
I think a topic I want to bring sometime is like types of games and genres that we're seeing smaller indie developers make that we would want a bigger developer or a bigger team to try to
Mm.
tackle.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Especially since the Claire Obscure has 3 different little mini games that you can play in 3 different spots. And one of them is just only up. Like it's
Oh.
just like you're in Claire Obscure and you're doing like a game not made for platforming, and you have to just climb a giant weird tower to get a special outfit. Like it's just something that's purely there to just like break up the pacing, and you can do it if you want. You don't have to do it. You just get I think you get like a swimsuit for a character if
Oh.
you do it. But it is so funny that it's just like,
It's just-
again, not AAA developer. So
I do think I've seen parts of that and just thought like, oh, that's weird that this game has this sort of like weird platforming in it.
Mhm.
All right. Anyway, let's leave the theaters. Head back.
Ooh,
I gotta
time to
make
sure to take all my trash.
I gotta get a better scene
Transition.
transition. Hold on. Let's just do a fade. Will this work?
Okay.
Yay! We
Remember to
faded
take
back
all
in.
your trash out of the theater when you go to the movie theater.
There's work. There's employees for that.
Make your employees not as miserable.
Yeah. So that was the trailer park. We watched some trailers. We talked about them. There's some games coming out that are weird.
Oh, I have to look presentable again.
Welcome back. All right. Anyways, what is thank you. Like when people ask me to queue up with them in Destiny 2 so I can keep forcing the team to wipe because of freaking jump puzzles. Jump
Destiny
puzzles.
2 is wacky.
Jump puzzles are like such a weirdly, like, in my opinion, like forced addition to games. And it's because like a lot of games just have these like community either like custom maps or like challenges or whatever with like jump puzzles. Like Halo did it.
Mhm.
Fortnite has like custom jump puzzle maps. Um and maybe I'm just too old because a lot of the people that I see play these are young.
Mhm.
I don't ever think they're all that great. Like the jump puzzle
Well,
stuff.
my issue with jump
In
puzzles
in
and
games that
it,
aren't platformers.
exactly what I was gonna say is that like these games aren't built to have like crisp platforming,
Yeah.
so they're immediately way more annoying.
Yeah.
Like even like there are like hidden items and whatnot. I'm trying to think in my brain, like in Dragon Age Inquisition, that I remember being like, why do these games control like a gosh darn sliding tank? Like I don't want to try to jump up things and
Yeah.
like not grab onto it because the game's not meant for it. Um and I don't know, like friend of the show Furious underscore hates platforming in general, and so like if there's a platforming mechanic in a game that he's like that's not meant for it, he's just like I don't want to do this
Yeah.
anymore. He's just like this is miserable, this
I
sucks.
get it. I get it.
And I get it.
Yeah. Um I know we just we left the theater
To watch to
to
talk about a
to
theater.
now go in and talk about our next topic.
Our first ever non-video game topic.
Yeah, which is
Maybe I'll bring it around to video games.
Superman.
Bum,
Uh
ba, bum, bum,
you
ba,
you lead this.
bum.
This is your man.
Yeah, Superman. Probably and forever will always be my favorite superhero slash comic book character. Got his big debut, Big Blue, on the big screen last Thursday.
It's happened a few times, so
Got his big. I'm gonna say, other than 70s, 80s Richard Donner, Christopher Reeves, Superman. This is the first time I feel like I've seen Superman on the big screen. Like Man of Steel, enjoyable for what it is. Superman Returns, not so enjoyable for what it is. Like this movie captures Superman in all the most like
I see what
pure
you're saying.
ways. Like like this is the first time I sat down and I'm like, oh my god! Like I watched this movie and I shed tears multiple times just based on like not even on sad parts. There were sad parts that made me feel stuff, but just like seeing my guy be kind, be hopeful, be like doing his best, being human is like was so pure and powerful to me that I wept in the theater. I loved it. I had such a blast with it. I'm not the biggest comic book movie person anymore. Just beaten down by them for the last there are good ones and there are mediocre ones in the last like 20 years, and there are bad ones. But this one, I was just like, I smile on my face, tears in my eyes, walked out of the movie theater feeling joy.
One of the things that I think I really appreciated and I enjoyed about this movie
Mhm.
is that it's not an origin.
Yeah.
It's a new Superman again. Um it's not an origin though. It's the movie kicks off and it tells you it's just like
Mm.
I think it's just like 3 centuries ago this happened. 3 decades ago this happened. 3 months ago this happened. 3 weeks ago this happened. 3 days ago this happened. So it like sets
Mm.
up the expectation that like Superman's been here. The world already knows Superman. You
Mhm.
already know Superman. The So does everyone in this movie. So they can just jump right into uh telling a story basically. That's not just like this is who Superman is. It's just like it's like an evolution of the story of who Superman is, not just like, our first
Yeah.
introduction. So I appreciated that. So anyone who hasn't seen it yet, you're not, you know, I think that's a thing that bothers people with our like superhero fatigue, and specifically I think DC, uh,
Mhm.
where it's constantly just like, I've already seen a Batman movie.
I know his parents died.
Here's a new Batman and a new movie, and it opens up and it tells me how his parents died, and like, oh, this time, uh, this is how they died, and it's like a slight alteration to it, and like we didn't get any of that with this movie.
Yeah.
It was just like, here we go, we're in it. You know the guy, we know the
Mhm.
guy. Let's tell a story.
Yeah, and even the characters that aren't as like in the zeitgeist are already just like living, breathing in this world. Um,
Yep.
like like people, Green Lantern a little bit more known, but no one really knows this Green Lantern as like as comparatively to the other like the two or three that people do know.
Yeah.
Um, Hot Girl, you really got and from like the animated show, and that's it. And then Metamorpho, I know because I read these comics, but like how many people know who Metamorpho is
He
from the get go?
he was a character that I looked at and I was like, I know that you're a character. I don't know your name. Um, and that was kind of the same way with Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific was another
I
guy.
don't know why I didn't say like it was one of the standouts of the film.
He is a standout in this film. I saw him and I immediately was like, I know I've seen you. But you're not like a recognizable like character to me. But was, like you said, he was one of the standouts. I saw people clamoring for a Mr. Terrific movie. My take on that is don't.
Yeah, you don't need it.
He was a good character in this movie. He was a good
Mm-hmm.
support. I'd keep him there.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him in his lane, I guess is what I'll say.
But like in the inevitable like justice, like gang, Justice Society, Justice League, whatever they're gonna call it eventually.
The Justice
movie,
Gang.
yeah, he'll be in it. He'll be in it, and it'll be fun.
Yeah.
He'll be awesome.
Another thing that I loved about this
Mm-hmm.
is how it didn't use the same shitty CG that the entire Snyder universe used.
Mm-hmm.
From the get, I think when they started using that, I forget where it was first in, maybe Wonder Woman. But there were things, there were certain like lenses or CG or filters or whatever that they were doing. And I think like pretty universally people were like, this looks ugly. This looks
Mm-hmm.
bad. Like obviously you're comparing it to Marvel, and it's just like this looks lower budget than like Marvel's CG fight scenes. And then they just kept doing it anyway, movie after movie, never changed anything, just kept at it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I loved that I was able. I mean, it's the same with the Batman. That didn't have any of that. Um, but also the Batman wasn't set up as a DCU movie.
Yeah, it's just its own Batman Detective Crime Universe or whatever
Yeah.
the heck its technical name is, which is really absurd. But
Whatever, cool.
yeah, it's an Elseworld
Yeah.
story, as what they're gonna call it.
So yeah, I was glad that like I guess this is kicking off the new DCU. And it was nice to look at.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It's also like I also really just appreciated how about like it wasn't afraid to like shy away from like allegories to real life conflicts and real life things we're dealing with, even to the absurdity of like the monkeys. right?
Yeah.
Like the very like Silver Age, like all the trolls on the internet are really just a bunch of monkeys typing stuff online.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Uh,
it was like almost a little shocking how um what's the word I'm looking for? But like the topics that they're clearly aiming at, like the political like
mhm,
landscape of that movie. I was just like surprised at like how modern it is, because it like movies have done like modern politics where I like I can pick it out and be like, "Oh yeah, this is how it is in the last 2 or
mhm,
3 years," where it's like it's almost like the politics are the way that the topics were when the movie came out, right?
mhm.
And this felt like
Yeah, like there was like
this
yeah.
felt like this movie had been made for multiple years, and it was like, oh, this is right now. This is
Mhm.
today. Um,
Which is like it's that really like fun like forward thinking thing.
mhm.
Like it's like in the same way that like is bring it to video games like Death Stranding, right? Like comes out and then like almost immediately every theme in Death Stranding feels more and more real for the first one. Like during like the pandemic era and like all the isolation and stuff like that. So like the having this movie be like in development and written in a way that just feels so apt for its time is both like you know awesome. It's also sad in this
Mhm.
in a certain sense that like yeah, this is where we ended up, and this is like the kind of like stuff that we're dealing with still.
Yeah, it's just it's incredible how easy it is to look at the topics and look at certain characters in that movie and just like drawing parallels to like
Mhm,
not what's happened in the last 5 years, but what's happened in the last like month.
mhm.
Um,
Um,
go ahead.
Friend of the show Ashley messaged me after she saw the movie yesterday, and I'm intentionally avoiding spoilers and direct like allegories. It's like I want to
It's
let
brand
people
new still.
experience
Yeah.
it brand new. But she was just like she was like, I cried. And like, she's like, did you cry? I'm like, yeah, I cried too. And then but we cried about different things, which was like, she's like, because I was like, I'm inspired. I'm hopeful. I believe in good again. And then she's just like, I'm sad because we don't have a Superman to save us through all this conflict
Oh,
we're
yeah.
dealing with. And I'm like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And in my brain, I'm like, I'm just like, but like the whole point in a certain sense, like the whole point of Superman is that you can also aspire to be Superman, which is really cheesy, but that's it, right?
Yeah. I've seen a video of, is it David Cornsweet,
Yeah.
Superman's actor, where you know uh he was talking about like what makes Superman uh like what his like most powerful like trait is, right?
Mhm.
That makes him Superman. And it was basically talking about like the balance where it's like he's the strongest thing alive, right? Obviously,
Mhm.
his superpower and his speed and all that is like what allows him to be Superman and allows him to be um the hero. However, it's his like it's his humanity um and his like his faults and all this stuff that like makes it so it's what brings Superman together. Like Superman isn't
Mhm.
Superman without his superpowers, but also he's not a hero without being like a
Mhm.
like a human, right? Because like if he doesn't have this like human side to him, he's either just a robot or something far more like nefarious than
Yeah.
what Superman is. And they played that's like a big part of the movie is playing with Superman's like powers and like his, you know, his
Mhm.
humanity and what makes him like not an alien, even though like he comes from another planet. Um, what did you think about the rest of the cast?
I thought pretty much everyone like so. I think what makes this movie work so well is that one every character is written like perfectly, like pretty perfectly. I think like everyone is encapsulating the character that like they are. Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner is a perfect asshole. Uh, Lex is great. Like truly petty bullshit villains. I love him
Super petty. Yes.
so good.
He just hates
And
Superman.
so much. I love the moment like where he's just like I don't want to spoil anything, but there's one moment where he conversates, and he's just like he's so self-aware in his pettiness,
Yeah.
and I really love it.
Yeah.
Uh,
He the the cool thing about Lex Luthor as like a villain is like um a lot of the reasons why he hates Superman and like wants to destroy him is like it's very believable and it's very
mhm,
just like oh yeah like part of it is just like not he like builds that like untrust of Superman because he's like he could turn on us any day, kill us all.
mhm,
We have to take control of the situation. And like that's a real fear that people would have is like he's too strong. What if
mhm.
one day he just decides to kill us all? And like that's
Yeah.
part of like his like hatred pointed at Superman. And then also just yeah, his pettiness and like uh jealousy.
Um, I won't spoil it, but I would suggest people read All Star Superman for one of my favorite Lex moments of all time at the ending of that comic. Uh, just like he event like it's just like it's a really good just like everything that you just said building off of it like he's like he is petty, he's afraid, and then there's a moment at the end of the comic where he just goes I get it now. Like it's just really good um storytelling for both Superman. It's probably my favorite Superman comic. So there's that, and then I also want to say Lois I thought was also pretty excellent in this movie. They
Yeah.
didn't like shy away the fact that she was a reporter. She
Mm-hmm.
was doing reporting things, unlike as much as like I think Amy Adams is an incredible actress. Like her Lois, it was just like I'm a Pulitzer Prize winner, and then there was like not a lot of real reporting going on.
Yeah,
But,
you watch this Lois report. Like her
mhm,
whole arc is her reporting.
mhm.
Which is
And like
nice.
you see her like also just kind of like battle like she has her own like arc like everyone Superman, Lois, and like both have their arcs in this movie um that I think really do work and add for some both really cute moments, really comical moments, and really and some moments that like yeah I get it, this is sad, I get why.
Um
um
have you ever seen the TV show, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
I've seen exactly one episode because my
Um
grandma was watching it.
okay, it's a pretty good show.
Mhm,
It is starring Rachel Brosnahan, who is the
mhm,
actress who plays Lois in this. And um when I was talking to Tara about the movie, she was like a little weirded out. She was like, "Yeah, the person who plays Mrs. Maisel is Lois." Like, and
mhm,
she like we hadn't thought about this movie too much, so she was like, "Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's weird." And then like after watching it, I like it clicked where I was like, "Oh, like in my head, Metropolis is New York City.
mhm.
Uh
despite being in Delaware somewhere.
Yeah. But Metropolis to me is like is New York City, and the character Mrs. Maisel is a New York. She's from New York. She's a character from New York
Mhm.
in I like the 50s or 60s or something like that. And like a lot of that to me was just like, oh, that just feels like a Superman, like I don't know, it just felt like Lois. It's like that 50s,
Mhm.
60s New Yorker. And she like played that role as Mrs. Maisel, and like her New Yorkness, I say, in Miss Maisel is like ratcheted up
Mhm.
compared to Superman. But I think that's exactly what got her this role. Is like that her character in that TV show. Just like being able to play uh just like a girl from New York, I guess, like born and raised New York kind of girl. Um and that's a good show, and she stars in it, and that's
Mhm.
all I know her from. Um but she's very good, and she did a good job in this. As well
Yeah,
as
and that
the whole
well,
Daily Bugle people I liked.
mhm.
Daily Bugle, Daily Planet. What the hell
Daily
was
Planet,
that was the
Daily
Daily.
Bugle, Spider Man.
Yeah, sorry. The whole Daily Planet
Hmm.
cast I liked a lot.
Hmm. And I love like there's also like parts of the movie like I love that it doesn't explain Lombard and he's just there for laughs. Like they're just like the people in the Daily Planet that like you just the movie does such a good job of like these are their roles. Quick, quick, quick. Like you don't even like you don't. We're not going to explain them to you other than Lois and Jimmy. But like you get like Lombard has some really good laughs near the end that I really like.
Yeah, I do think that I think that's separate from like what I was saying earlier, where like the world's already set up. You know these characters, like whatever. Um, I don't think a lot of people know every character. Then you know Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, they did a good job of just like not having to explain who everyone was, but like very clearly showing their character, kind of like their role in the
Mm-hmm.
cast, like what niche they fill. So yeah, I thought the movie was great.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think one of the a conversation I heard, because Fantastic Four is also coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Fantastic Four.
and a conversation I heard comparing the two was like, what movie needs to do better? And like Marvel was kind of in this like down they're on a little down stride, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
with their movies, with like fatigue and just quality of
Mm-hmm.
their
And
films.
like their movie budgets are like definitely out of hand also at this time to like in the current movie theater going.
Yeah. And so um what was that last movie that just came out?
Thunderbolts.
Asterisk.
Yep.
Thunderbolts came out, and like critically was received really well. I don't know how well it did at the box office compared to Marvel
Yeah, it
movies.
was considered a disappointment, I think,
I
which is unfortunate because I think it's better than a lot of the
Yeah.
other stuff.
And so the argument that I heard was um the reason for Fantastic Four needed to do really well is Marvel finally hit something where there's hope. They're moving up again. It didn't
Mhm.
sell really well. But like this is a another ensemble cast movie with a big name attached to it, with a franchise that's had movies outside of the MCU. And it needs to do really well to keep that momentum raising for Marvel. Um, and on the flip side, the argument for Superman needing to do more is because the MCU is already established and it's gonna keep moving regardless. This movie will sell well enough for them to not cancel the entire franchise of movies. There's still stuff that's going to come out. They're still going to get all the way to their Doctor Doom stuff and, you know, Endgame, whatever. Not Endgame, Avengers movies. Whereas the Superman movie is setting up the entire universe. So if this movie tanked, nobody would be excited about the next movie. But this movie has been a major success, which is more important than Fantastic Four being a major success, because now you can actually build the universe rather than like Fantastic Four is just trying to stabilize what's already built. And so I don't know. It was like an interesting thing to me to like compare this movie to Fantastic Four. It was like,
yeah, for sure.
It was mostly just me like adding more like me cheering harder for this movie to do well, basically, because I was like, oh yeah, I would like this to like do really well, because there are cool DC stories that could be told, and James Gunn, for the most part, has done well with any superhero thing he's been given. I even liked which I have to go back and look at it, Creature Commandos, which was on HBO Max, that TV show.
Pretty good.
That was pretty good. He had a large hand in that. Obviously, he did The Suicide Squad, which was pretty good. Led into
leads me to my greatest tragedy, though, is that I'm not going to get more Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, who I think is still near perfect casting.
It's a very good casting. She did yes, she did fantastic. I don't even know if you get Batman in this DC universe.
I think you do. I think there were early talks, and they haven't. They shuffled their plans around. But I remember they wanted to do like a Brave and the Bold type movie, Batman and Robin.
I see.
Thing going on.
I see.
I don't know how it is, but so I could have cut you off and segue cleaner. But you're talking about like, you know, respecting the source material, where you're going to go from here. Excited about the universe. Superman very clearly sets up the next movie coming out next year, Supergirl. In just like a really fun manner, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Really just like immediately sold me on my girl getting live action adaptation. And so originally Supergirl was titled Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which is the name of this comic right here.
Whoa.
My favorite. Whoa, Woman of Tomorrow.
You were ready.
My favorite comic of all time. With like just like absolutely stellar artwork. I don't know how well this captures with the ring light.
I say a little bit,
but like, there you go. Anyway, I'm excited for it because this story 1A is James Gunn's kind of bread and butter, where it is like a space odyssey. It is a galactic adventure. 2, it really separates what makes Supergirl not Superman, which like I'm a little afraid the movie just like people won't be like, well, Supergirl's derivative of Superman, and it's just the same thing. Why are we going to go see a movie about the same character? They're very like in their heads, the stuff they deal with, their personalities are way different, and the story really shines like Supergirl dealing with like her trauma, PTSD, her anger. all that kind of stuff that really like cements her as being like the more I guess emotional character, which is like a little lame to be like, well, the girl's more emotional, but like she just outwardly shows her feeling stronger. And I think she's really cool, and I hope this movie does well because and Millie Alcock, for the 5 seconds we saw her, seemed really cool.
For those 5 seconds that you do see her, you do instantly see that she isn't Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Like her dialogue and like her mannerisms and the way she acts is very much like showcasing like she's not just another Superman character. She's a very she's wildly different than Superman is in this movie.
Yeah.
In those 5 seconds. Also, last thing I just want to touch on for this is I had seen, I'm sorry to say this, but like I thought this well before. The Snyderverse diehards are weirdos.
Yeah.
Stop.
I mean, I like a lot of those movies, and they're still weirdos.
There are parts of them that I like. And they're fine. And I'm perfectly okay with people being fans of that. But like I started seeing pictures circulate of like how Zack Snyder portrays women versus how James Gunn portrays women. And it's like a picture of Wonder Woman next to like a picture of Hawk Girl like screaming, or next to Supergirl, who is like,
that's what Hawk Girl does.
Yeah. Or like next to Supergirl, like just being like kind of like that like teenage girl kind of thing. And like just I don't know, it's basically just be like, yeah, look at how much of like a great hero Wonder Woman is, and then Hawk Girl's just running around screaming.
Because you can't win with the internet.
No.
And you never will with the internet, and there's no point in really trying. But like, you know, for every like Wonder Woman is such a like, look how awesome her character is. Like you'll find another 5,000 people being like, Wonder Woman's a Mary Sue, and therefore it sucks because she's too perfect. And then for every that you get like, oh, there's gonna be no one's ever gonna be happy about anything. I don't know. These characters feel more human, and I like it when characters feel human, and that's important. It's really fun to me that Guy Gardner's in this movie. Guy Gardner as a person kind of sucks, but he's so much fun to watch be kind of an asshole in this movie.
Yeah,
because he feels more realistic and more flawed, I guess. Like,
and I guess that was the point I was gonna make, is like for anyone who's like seen anything like that where it's just like the women in this movie aren't portrayed well, it's just false. Yeah. If you look at two stills, and it's like hand-picked skills of like a close-up of Hawk Girl screaming, and then an epic shot of Wonder Woman with her lasso and shield. She's like, yeah, obviously you're like, wow, look how strong Wonder Woman looks. And when it's just like you watch those things in motion, and yet, like you said, it's just like the female characters in Superman feel like real humans, and they're I mean, Supergirl's there for like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna ignore that because like she doesn't get much, but like Hawk Girl isn't like cast aside as like a weak girl or anything like that. Like she has her moments in the story where like she's making decisions that are very strong, powerful. Like, I don't know. Every character in that movie was done well.
Yep.
Male, female, dog.
Alien.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to not having a perfect dog, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah.
In a movie.
Oh yeah. No. Very not trained super well, that dog.
To spoil exactly one quote, it's just like, you have a dog? I think it's in the trailer. It's like, you have a dog? And he goes, yeah, not a very good one though.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from our, like you said, our first ever non-video game topic on the show. Our last topic is a video game. A
God, we could have
really,
pitched Superman the game. I won't. I don't want to do that. Continue.
really big video game. Pokemon Presents
Whoa.
is happening 1 week from today
Hmm.
when we record. In 1 week, it will have already happened. So we'll be able to talk about what we saw. Thank God we already got one topic nailed down next week.
Hmm.
I haven't seen how long this lasts. It could be in the announcement trailer or the announcement like post. Um,
See the VGC art.
no, it just says I'm on the Pokemon article. Just
Oh,
says,
I messed up the document.
6 a.m. Pacific time, so 9 a.m. Eastern. Um, doesn't have any information here. What are you? We'll first go with what are you expecting from this showcase?
So, Pokemon ZA, but throw up the VGC article I just added right there.
Is it the Pokemon is teasing next week's Pokemon Presents stream?
Yeah, yeah. Open that up.
Okay.
This picture that Pokemon Company officially released on social media, is like the thing they teased with the presents coming out. So obviously we're getting Pokemon ZA stuff. That's just given.
Given.
Moving on to the wacky stuff. This Pikachu with these turntables and his sound system. The very easy guess is that they're adding. I don't know if Pokemon soundtracks are on the Nintendo Music app. That could be something to talk about. But the crazier answer is that we get a Pokemon rhythm game.
Um, I I think we could get like a Pokemon rhythm game, sure. I think the image of these turntables,
Mm-hmm.
uh, specifically, is just more than that to me. I think it's really weird to convey a rhythm game with turntables because turntables sounds more party,
Mm-hmm.
to me.
But like DJ Hero.
Yeah, no, exactly. Um, I don't. Is it like it is a turntable, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Pikachu, two
Yeah.
turntables.
I mean, so like, yeah, we're gonna get stuff about Pokemon ZA. We might get something about Champions or whatever the name of the competitive thing, that they're releasing. Other than that, Pokemon Company likes to announce crazy stuff. They allow weird stuff. Pokemon Sleep exists. Pokemon, like Trotsai and the Cafe, and there's a bunch of like little tiny Pokemon games that exist. So truly, anytime a Pokemon Company presents comes out, I'm just like, I'm in for the wild, wacky ride. I don't know what we're gonna get. You're gonna try to tell me that you now have a Pokemon game that I can play when I am driving. That's not, but also I don't know. I'm just making things up as I go. I can't nail that. Like while I'm flying a plane, they're gonna be like, if you fly your plane, you'll see Dragonites next to you.
I sorry, I'm focused on chat right now. Domo's talking about Pokken
Mm-hmm.
Tournament, but it's a 4-man beat 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Focus
I'm
Smash.
yeah. Then I went in Smash direction. I said items, ledges, 4 lives per character.
Focus
Um,
Smash, different type of game.
I I'm curious. I'm doubtful I should say, for like a new game announcement. Um, I I, I feel as if this image
Hmm.
maybe isn't a game. Maybe it is just maybe it is just music is coming to the Nintendo store, whatever thing,
Yeah, the Nintendo Music app.
or uh their own thing. I don't know. Um, I like you said, I'm expecting Pokemon Legends EA. We have a release date. I don't think there's anything major that they can show us here, unless they're just showing us like mega evolutions or something.
Hmm.
Um, the thing that I want to see is the game they announced last time. I think it's called like Pokemon Champions.
Hmm.
It's like the
Yeah, you skip me talking about it.
I was
Just
so checked out.
yeah, no, yeah, Pokemon Champions. Yeah,
Pokemon Champions,
the competitive one.
I think that's the big thing that I want to see. Um, and then maybe like Pokemon Go updates and maybe a little trailer for what's the Pokemon show on Netflix called?
Concierge.
Yes.
That's season two's coming out in
Yes.
September,
Yeah.
and I'll watch it and I'll cry a bunch.
There's a lot of media that makes you cry.
I cry a lot about a lot of happy and joyful and hopeful things because
It's not bad.
real is yeah, real life's less like that.
Yeah. Um so yeah, I think those are like three things that like I would expect. If and Domo's in chat going off
Yeah.
on on essentially Pokken. I would love to see some sort of either another Pokken or like a new spin on like that Pokken, just Pokemon fighting game, real
Yeah.
time fighting. I would love to see something like that. That's very cool and fun and interesting to me. Um, instead of so like they said here Pokken, but it's instead of Tekken, it's Soul Calibur. So what would we call that? Would that be like Poke Calibur?
Oh, Caliber.
Poke Calibur?
I don't think the name lends itself correctly.
Okay, we'll workshop like we'll let Nintendo figure that part out. But yeah, some sort of new Pokemon fighting game. There's that fan game, that like 2D fighting fan game. You know the one I'm talking about. I can't remember the name
Hmm.
of it.
Hmm.
There's that, and that looks cool. So I think I think it's easy to like come up with a traditional fighting game. I don't think Pokemon or Nintendo does that. Um, for Switch 2,
Yeah.
would you
I mean,
rather would you
oh,
rather
here.
see a new mystery dungeon
Mhm.
or a new ranger?
Mystery Dungeon.
Okay.
As someone who, I mean, to be fair, I just played finished my first Mystery Dungeon with a couple of friends. We were just like passing the controller around. Like last May,
Okay.
we did the Switch version, the remake. And that game is beautiful. I love the scratch art design of that game. Um, Ranger, I don't have a lot of love for. I don't like the main gimmick. If you make a new Ranger, you're gonna have to do a completely new gimmick for me to care about it. I don't like the circle in.
I think you can do the gimmick is basically my thought is like now you can do the gimmick with the mouse control.
Hmm.
But also,
Yeah.
also the issue with that, I guess you can maybe do it like pointing at the screen or something. Um, the issue with mechanics like that is, for Nintendo at least, I don't think they like limiting uh mechanics to a specific control scheme.
Hmm.
If you have to like flip control, I don't think Nintendo would make a Pokemon game that needs to be played in mouse mouse mode. But I'm not against it. Not
Yeah.
against it.
I mean, like, you put it up to me, you give me those two options, and I see you a third option and give me a new Pokemon Conquest. Give me Pokemon Conquest 2, or just a tactics Pokemon game, because I think it'd be really neat.
I do. I don't.
Um,
I don't think it needs to be Conquest again. That crap is wild.
mhm,
Nobunaga and Pokemon.
yeah.
Yeah, tactics game is neat.
But the thing with Pokemon, and I say this a lot with different franchises that we talk about that are so huge, is Pokemon is, I mean, specifically the highest selling IP, period and period, in
Uh-huh.
reality.
Uh-huh.
Um, the Pokemon Company is like 300 employees. They're relatively small for a company that makes the video games for the highest selling IP of all time.
Yeah.
And they talk about that, like, they like to keep their teams small so they're more versatile. They can get the spirit right or whatever have you. Sure, whatever, doesn't matter. You would license out this IP to certain developers. Like, I mean, they have done that in the past. Conquest is a teamwork, I believe, between Koei Tecmo and Pokemon Company. But just like you, just people everywhere would be paying you so much money to be like, hey, can I use Pokemon imagery, Pokemon characters, Pokemon whatever
Yep.
to make our game? And you just throw that in any genre, just like how we talked about how League of Legends is getting a lot of, like, they
They
they make a
license
lot
out
of
to.
indie game they license out. Yeah,
Yeah.
you give me a Pikachu Metroidvania or a character like more like suitable for Metroidvania, like I don't
I.
know. I don't. My brain is only thinking
Oh
about
my god. What?
Cerulean Edge.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. This the Ceruledge Edge, that because they just look like Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So, like, yeah, like, but who knows? They announce anything. They're gonna come out with another Pokemon Picross game, and I'll go, sure, I'll play that. I love Picross, and I love Pokemon.
Yeah. I expect a lot of just like updates on existing things. I hope we get more stuff, but like there is a lot of Pokemon out there that's like Pokemon product that is active
Mhm.
or that we already know is in development. Like we know about ZA, we know about Champions, we know about the Pokemon Concierge thing, we know that they've been talking about the next Detective Pikachu. Um,
The movie needs to exist, please, please.
yeah, please. What was I saying? There's Pokemon Go. There's Pokemon TCG Pocket. Like,
Mhm.
if they touched on everything that we already know,
Mhm.
they could probably fill whatever time slot they're looking to fill. Because I don't imagine it's long. It's probably like 20 minutes or something, 15 minutes.
Mhm.
But yeah, if they just touch on everything that's like already known, I think they can fill their time frame. So like I'm wary about anything new.
Mhm.
But it would be welcome.
Do you think this is the time that we get Gen 10 reveal at
No.
all? Even minute, even 30 seconds?
Nope.
Just title?
Nope. If we do, cool. I just don't think that just because I I guess like maybe this is just where my brain's leaning. It's just like there's so much
Gen 11? Sorry. I don't know how to count
I
anymore.
can't count either. Don't worry. I forgot. Um yeah, I think there's just like a lot of current Pokemon projects where
No, it was Gen 10.
where
How did I trick myself?
adding in more and then like you're so focused on ZA
Mhm.
maybe don't take away from it with the next generation yet.
So like normally I'm like right there with you, and like I think a lot of companies would have that thought, but Pokemon Company had the Pokemon Direct forever ago that was here's Scarlet Violet and Arceus, like in the same Direct. They were like, all of a sudden here's another game coming out before that game
Sure.
that we've already talked about a little bit. Like that, they're not afraid of stepping on themselves.
No, yeah, it's true.
Because they don't, and they don't need to be afraid of like, because they're Pokemon.
It's
They,
Pokemon,
again,
you're right.
high selling IP. They like,
No, you're right.
they could come out here and be like, here's a roadmap for the next 20 years. Buy all of it, and people will go, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, let me tell you, Google's AI on the 10th generation Pokemon is telling me some crazy things.
I don't even want to. I saw other AI talking about this Pokemon Direct, and
Mhm.
it was commenting on the DJ set and
Mhm.
how they're ready to drop some new information. Like you drop a beat.
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah.
I guess next year is 30th anniversary. Anyway.
So yeah, Pokemon Presents 1 week from today. I think, yeah, I don't know. Oh, also I forgot. There is rumors that there is a big Nintendo Direct happening this month.
Yes.
So like,
Imagine after Donkey Kong, so after this week.
yeah, so you could potentially get less time on ZA or the next generation here and get more time of it in a direct. Like there's more Nintendo news coming out, and or rumored to be coming out this month. So like some of the stuff we're seeing next week could potentially show up again in this direct.
Mhm.
Because I don't know what else Nintendo's doing. Which new Pokemon is going to be in Smash?
When will there ever be a new Smash?
All right.
It's a more important question. 3 years? 4 years?
Hypothetically, they announce a new Smash. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In a direct this month. Which Pokemon do we see? Which new Pokemon do we see in the trailer that hasn't been in Smash yet?
You know, I don't know what my gut was thinking here about this at all. Tinkerton.
Ooh, that's a pretty good one.
But Tinkerton. We don't have any hammer characters in Smash, do we?
I think that goes along the lines of what I was thinking, because I was thinking like Ceruledge or
Mhm.
the other one that like nobody ever knows. Everybody likes
Ooh.
Ceruledge.
Put my trans goddess Hatterena in it.
But yeah, I was thinking like something that just like has a weapon.
Yeah.
Ceruledge has the swords. Tinkaton, yeah, has the hammer.
Fluttermane.
Armor
Make it work.
Rouge.
No.
That's the other guy I was thinking of. Armor Rouge. Because I think that's a gun. Yeah, that's a gun. So
I don't know. Or you pick the mega evolution of one of the new guys. Because like you think like what we're gonna have mega for alligator, or mega Typhlosion, and mega no.
no.
What are the
You have
three
Typhlosion
that we're
already.
getting?
I don't remember.
Yeah, not Typhlosion. It's mega Tepig. Who's the Tepig pig?
Embor?
I don't know. I can't remember. Embor, mega Embor. Who's the third? Who's the grass type in?
Snivy?
Oh, no, in
Or
ZA.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember right now. It's
It might be Mega Meganium. Anyway, we get put one of those megas in there.
starters. It is Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile.
Yeah, all right, cool. I nailed it at the end.
So yeah, Mega Meganium, Mega Squared Neum. I don't want, to be fair, I don't want Ceruledge or those guys. I would rather something more unique.
I want Tinker now that I said it. I want it.
Annihilate,
Mm, okay.
maybe I could see them doing like a Koraidon or something like that. Uh,
I'm a little shocked. Mewtwo, why didn't make it into the
ooh, give me Stone Journer.
game? Ooh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, you had not Delphox. Break,
where's your brain at?
break,
You're thinking about Delphox.
because Braixen is in Tekken, Pokken.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, Farigiraffe
So
maybe.
isn't Suicune in Tekken, and that character wouldn't doesn't feel like it would work in Tekken.
All right, all right. My last my
Um,
last my last guess. Rabska.
mm,
That's the poop bug Pokemon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And my last one is Goldahedego, or whatever how you ever pronounce his name.
Oh yes, Pokemon number 1000.
Yeah, Noodle Man.
Goldengo.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. All right, that's it. That's our
That's the show.
topics. We did it.
That's the show.
We did
We
it.
did it. We gotta do the Gandalf before you gotta leave,
Yeah,
but
we'll do the
we'll
Gandalf.
sign off.
Um, yeah, we know we're talking about Pokemon Presents next week. Um, maybe we play more Dokapon this weekend.
Yeah, I'll talk more about Dokapon.
Um, yeah, I don't know. That's it. That's the end of the show. Anything you wanna say?
I don't know. I hope Donkey Kong's good, and I hope K. Rool's in it somehow.
I hope Donkey Kong's good. I don't care if K Rool's in it or not. I'm gonna throw
Are you
that. That's
picking it up?
that's my hot take.
Are you getting it on launch day or no?
On launch day, no, I don't have the money for it. But I
Good.
want to get it because I want it for my Switch too. I don't know. It looks really good. I want to like bring it to work and sit down and play it on my time. But yeah, so we're gonna go to the post show now. If you watch us live on Twitch Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Uh, Depending on how long this stream goes, we stream for a little bit longer afterwards. We do the game duel. You can come and hang out. Um, but that's it. We'll see you again next week. I'm gonna try to upload this to YouTube faster than I do. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. Goodbye. It's been fun. Have a good weekend. Careful with all the heat going around. And enjoy Donkey Kong.
I yield my time. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.